Right. Hello, guys. So, like I said, I didn't know whether it was going to come back. Oh, yes, and I've fixed the problem. All it was I'd clicked a button here and it meant that it wasn't. Oh, wait a minute. It wasn't in alignment anyway. That's boring for you, but it was fucking annoying me. So I'm glad it's not annoying me anymore. So maybe something was fucking annoying you and it's not fucking annoying you anymore. I don't know, but that could have something to do with it. So if you've not seen me channel these all the star signs, I do it once a month around the new moon. The new moon isn't until Sunday night where I live anyway, so you can check for yourself. And it's a new moon in Taurus. But so it means basically, but the all the other astrology is so like overpowering that it's, and again, I've been talking about it loads, so I might, I probably will more likely touch on it because I just can't help myself. Whether if it floods into my awareness, I'll see it. But but the key thing is, if you're new to watching these, or if this just pops up on your timeline, um, it's not so much, I'm not going to say the thing that so many other people say. It's not that I don't ever say it, but like you were meant to find this. But kind of along those vibes is the way that I get guided to do the signs is I'm not meaning this for like all Virgos or even all Virgo moons or all Virgo risings. I do it that this is about the sixth house energy. So we've all got 12 houses in astrology. We've all got a sixth house. And the sixth house is your everyday routine, your ritual, your everyday life. It can have a lot to do with your work because you know what you do every day. If you don't work, then whatever you do, in your everyday life. Um, it's stuff randomly to do with your pets. It's loads of stuff. But you know what I mean? It's loads of other stuff that I'll forget to say too, but this is the stuff that always comes to me. It's about healing, it's about health and well-being. Um, where you might need healing, where you might be the healer, all these types of themes. Um, and it can be your spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, financial health. And also because it's a new moon in Taurus, Taurus is about abundance, money too. So I have got money cards and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, I don't know whether it's good that you're going first, Virgo, or like I said, six. Yeah. I'm not even going to say it like that because, like I said, I'm not. I just do that really for other people. That's because it and it helps people find it. You know what I mean? But what I mean is because I am quite tired and it's unbelievable the amount of mess I've made in a very short space of time. And that's hilarious because Virgo is about tidying up and decluttering. And honestly, it is unbelievable. Like it's like I caused complete destruction in a very because it's like I'd had this place tidied and I'd hoovered and everything, and then I had a client earlier and I hardly even used cards doing that, so I can't use that as an excuse. It was more hypnosis and creative visualization and shamanic journey. But and also that person, I'm so grateful that person wrote a really beautiful review and also very brave too because it went into details. So again, that's it's not needed, but it's welcome when people do that because it was. And I said to that woman, it's kind of nuts because it was actually scarily in line with the collective energy. It's obviously I haven't watched that back because I went straight to that client. But I remember abandonment issues coming up in the collective, and that is what came up in that session. And I could say that because she wrote something to that effect in it. So it was actually specifically it was father wounds. So that and I didn't realize during this. I only clicked after. It's because it's Venus conjunct Saturn. The famous Venus conjunct Saturn. That again we've been in this energy for a while, but it's really coming to quite a head and Saturn is the father. So isn't that there's no coincidences. Like it's that there's a lot of things about father healing or masculine energy within yourself or males in your life. So you might be that male or it might be males in your life, really sort of coming up in the collective. But it was really really beautiful. So yes. And I'm not feeling tired because of that. I didn't sleep very well and then I just couldn't get up and you know what I mean. So hello Eve, how are you doing? Are you brand new? Um, So yeah, I'm just going to crack on with this. Like I said, I think this is probably going to be the only one tonight, and then I'll come back. Um, I'll come back Sunday or Monday, maybe even Tuesday. I don't know. I think Monday. I'm going to do mediumship Monday, but if I choose to do the signs, then that might need we might need to give that a miss. Right, so I'm just going to put a link. Oh yeah, and of course, so again, I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I don't know how up for that I am. I had put originally that I was going to do the £20 thing for the um to celebrate the 20 years of YouTube, but I'll just that can just stay for when I come whatever when I come back. Yeah. Do you know what? This is hilarious. I shuffled cards about this in the membership when I was doing the prayer circle before I came in here, and I pulled a deck that I just got. When I asked whether I should do this, I pulled the two swords, which is hilarious because like I'm trying to make a decision and it gives me the card about that. Not helpful. And then I pulled the Four of Cups, which has on the girl's t-shirt, it says over it. And I'm like, that is kind of like, you know what I mean? I know I'm not wanting to do this all night. But then I pulled the sun. So I felt that they were saying, just come on and do this. And then that can just. So I feel this all matters. This is something about closure. I feel, for me, just going on and doing this sign and seeing how I feel about it and already can feel into it. I don't feel like sitting here doing all the signs tonight. The energy just doesn't feel right for it. Um, but then at least I'll be able to then just switch off from my work and remember that this is the sixth house is to do your work. And it's about busy, busy, busy. And I think there's a need to switch off because the balsamic moon, the dark moon that we're in right now, it is about release, let go, surrender. It's Friday night, it's the weekend, turn the laptop off, stop doing your work, slow down. And I bet a lot of people need to hear that because it's the moon is in Aries. Aries is like, fucking let's go, 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 go. And that's what I mean. Like I knew I was either going to tap into the slowing down energy of the balsamic moon or the fuck it, let's go of the Aries. And I'm more leaning towards, oh my God, I feel quite tired. So, and that heater doesn't help. But, so let's put this wee thing in before I forget. So yeah, just take from that what you will. So I'm posting, this is the link for the general booking link if you want to book a session at any point. And I work Tuesday to Friday, so you've missed the boat this week. And then I've also got the link to the membership too. So, and will we set a goal? And the goal is for me to get whatever the message is out. For me to get whatever the message that needs heard out. I don't know if that's good English, but I don't care. There we go. um, I just think it's good practice to use that so that I get in the habit of. Like I said, this might give me energy. I might have fun. I might want to keep it, but that's the way I'm feeling. I'm like, I'm not really feeling it. I'm over it, like that girl's top said. You had to be there. That's one of those kind of moments. You had to be there to see the synchronicity. Right, so that is working, isn't it? I did check that. Yeah. The mic's working. We're cooking with gas. Right, so I'm going to shuffle these scriptures. So realistically, nah, it's at 20 minutes. I might be able to get that out. Nah, I'm going to put 30 minutes on the timer because although that was all part of it. So, because again, I'd like to keep these about 15, 20 minutes, but my guys just seem to like to do them like 30 minutes at least. Some of them are a fucking hour, but I don't mind because I only do it once a month. I don't mind. But like I said, I'm not. Anyway, let's just get on with this. So, what's a scripture for the people that this message is going to resonate with? So, like I said, this can resonate with anyone. We've all got Virgo somewhere in our chart, and we've all got a sixth house. So, And my guys just like to disguise the messages anywhere. So cast your burden on the Lord and he will sustain you. Psalms 55:22. Interesting. God is our God forever and ever. He will be our guide even to the end. Psalms 48:14. So that's interesting because I did use the word burden quite a lot today. I feel a lot of people are releasing their burdens, basically. And good for you. Right, okay, so I've got so many cards, it's like, oh, what, where do oh yeah, actually, maybe right, I'm going to start with these. So these were ones that when I was just trying to find the specific decks I wanted to use, like I kept finding just random cards and it's hard to describe, but they just make me pick them up. And so I felt this was for the collective, but maybe it was actually just for this. So this was the collective of cards, right? Now this was interesting because I was just walking about and I was singing in my head. I mean, my head is just full of songs, full stop, songs, films, lyrics to songs, like James Arthur songs, like but like songs in general. But the point was, I was singing. I'm alone in my head, looking for love in a stranger's bed, but I don't think I'll find it, 'cause only you can fill this empty space. You know that one. So those lyrics would be significant. It's the empty space. And then I picked up, I let my doubts and fears get the best of me. And I was like, that is like a lyric. And I don't know if it's that song, but in one of his songs. And is it that? I think it might be. God, I can't remember what that's called. That's how tired I am. I can't remember what that's. I can't remember what it's called. Just Us, yeah, the one that comes up quite a lot. So yeah. I mean, to be honest, that could fit with loads of his songs. But I let my doubts and fears get the best of me. I'm sure there is a line in one of those songs like that. So that was that song. But like I said, it was just really funny because I was hearing that song in my head, just walking about, and then I picked up that. Detachment, letting go, and worth waiting for it. Right. So what I'm getting from this is I feel that message is the divine masculines that are going to connect with this, male or female. That somebody let their doubts and fears get the best of them. Or I'm going to speak to it like you let your hello, how are you doing? You let your doubts and fears get the best of you. And you ran away. If you're the masculine energy, you ran away from this connection um, for fear of it being too good to be true. That's what I feel. Um, so again, remember, this can be your present, this can be your past, or this can be your future. It's Akashic Records. I know it's fucking annoying, but we don't get to choose what's what. Again, I just done some cards for us here in the membership, and it's that's the thing. I'm like, is this current? Is this in the future? Do you know what I mean? We'd all like to know, but we just find out when it happens. So there's a message in that too. But I feel if you're the feminine energy, male or female, I feel you detached. I had to let this go so I could clear my mind. I feel you detached. You let go of the need to know. You let go of the situation. You let go of kind of like, I don't know what the hell is going on with my person. I'm just going to focus on me. And I feel because of that, it's worth waiting for. Your patience will be rewarded. Oh, yes. So see how that all ties together. I feel your patience will be rewarded for just letting things be as they were and not trying to just you can't. That's the point. Just accept things as they are. And then ironically, sometimes that's how things change. And sometimes it can happen pretty quick too. So however that all fits. So this is where I had picked out specific question cards, and it was really just so that I just don't sit for longer than what is needed. But I don't know where I've put them. I might just have a wee quick. I've got one here that says how I intend to grow, a misbelief I intend to release while I grow, and how I intend to nurture myself while I grow. I mean, it's not that it's not a good. I mean, but it's just there was one I'd picked out that was really fitting with the Taurus new moon. So I'm not going to look for, I'm just going to, oh, I can't see it. Oh no, but wait a minute, I'm meant to do that because I'm meant to use it. Right, let's just start with these. I'm just going to do, hello Renee, how are you doing? I'm just going to do what I, God, do you know what? I suddenly feel quite hungry again, and I've not long eaten my tea. It's maybe because I was trying to go keto and I didn't have any like carbs or anything, and I'm like, now I'm like really wanting, I'm wanting carbs. um, yeah, so anyway, let's just go with that. I don't know where that is. I don't know where that is. So, what have we got for a block for the divine feminine, male or female, and or your inner divine feminine? What have we got? What is a block that somebody might be experiencing out there? Or something that you dealt with in the past and that can identify whether this is going to make sense to you? Oh, two came out. Giving too much and fixing them. Oh, wow. Yeah, total Virgo things. So, giving too much. You are and then look, I can already see before I even read the words how this is going to fit. You're depleted because you give too much. You need a balance of give and take. So, you see how that really fits with what I've said at the start related to how I'm feeling. And like, I don't need to actually do these signs tonight. I was just wanting to because it was Aries moon, but I like to tune into how I'm feeling and the energy. And it doesn't feel right because it's a dark moon. It's a time to release and let go. So that's what I said at the start. But also, I feel because specifically what this channel's all about and helping twin flames. But bear in mind, if you aren't a twin flame, this might still resonate. So you can always let me know. It'd be interesting to know. And if you don't want to let me know in public, let me know in private. Because I was getting loads of downloads today about the things that are meant to be for everyone as well, like beyond Mediumship Monday, like some of the healing and stuff. So yeah, fixing them. You can't fix someone. They have to want to change. Accept them or let them go. Again, so harsh, but look at the wording. Surrender, let go. Me talking about the balsamic moon being about releasing. There's a picture here of a mirror, a broken mirror. We all know when you break a mirror, you can't put it back together. It's like when you smash a plate. You can't sellotape the plate back. You can try to mend something, but it's not going to be the same as before. Or it's just impossible. It depends which analogy you want to take. But just be mindful of this within yourself, of where you give too much when you're not getting back and you're trying to change somebody when maybe they're not ready to change. Maybe they might never change. It depends who I'm talking to. If basically, if you're dealing with karmic energies, whether it's friends, family, lovers, whatever, workplaces, some of them will not change. Like, you know what I mean? Now, I'm a big believer in miracles. That's why I pray every day for myself, for you guys, for the world. But there's something about that. Some people are not going to want to do the work. So you have to make the decision to choose your own peace, because that's what I've put in the title. Choosing peace and happiness. So I feel there's something coming in here about you choosing the path of your peace and your happiness. And that might sadly be involving releasing people that you once thought you would never release. So I feel I'm tapping into something quite deep there. And also, so that feels like karmic energies, but this is also like if you are, particularly if you're the divine feminine and you are over giving either literally or energetically, giving all this love, giving all this telling, just going on about how much you love this person, and like, are you getting anything back? A lot of the time that's a big no. But although energetically you should be able to feel the love coming back always from your twin flame. But literally, when we keep it real here, because Virgo is about reality, and also Taurus new moon is about being grounded. And I've just noticed the connection. My Mercury in Taurus, Mercury retrograde, so I look at things very differently, is in the sixth house. So believe it or not, that is, like, I would say, the most grounded part about me. That although I do all these magical shamanic journeys and talking to the soul and releasing souls and deliverance, and you have to be completely inner child and in your imagination to do like what I was doing earlier with that beautiful client. That grounded practical part of me is the part that you'll see me say to some people on the live streams, like, basically, yeah, you can know somebody's your twin flame, but are they showing up for you like you're showing up for them? Are they in your everyday experience? That's what Virgo 6 is. Are they helping you through the tough times in your life? If that's a no, then, like I would say, pray for them and want the best for them, but deal with what's actually going on in your real fucking life. You know what I mean? Like, sorry, that feels like really brutally honest, but it's true. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean you don't love and pray for them and want the best for them. But if they're not bothering their arse about you, why are you bothering your arse about them? You know what I mean? But you can still pray. So again, I feel that's a bit of the Mars opposite Pluto energy coming in there. It's strong, but it must be bringing together, like some of the feelings that are going on there. But I feel it's about stop overgiving. That just feels like they don't want me to mask how strong that is. Stop overgiving and stop trying to fix people, whoever they are in your life, twin flame, karmic energy, whoever. Let the person come to their own conclusions about what they need in their life for their healing. That's the only time people really bring about real change. Wow, powerful. Right, let's see what we've got for the masculine. Virgo rising, and fixing someone has been an ongoing lesson. I've learned the hard way, but hey, all good now. You're doing amazing. Keep it up. That is, and again, I know that because like I've got a couple of friends that are Virgo rising, and that it does seem like that's like a huge lifelong lesson, doesn't it? When you've got that, and again, I resonate for a lot of that within with my son in the sixth house as well. It's when you love people, you do want them to just do better for themselves, to stop self-sabotaging or treating themselves a little bit better. But it's like I said, the person's got to want that themselves. But sometimes when you just give things a bit of breathing room, the person will do that themselves, whoever they are in your life. So, and I know a lot of us all know this, but it must be needing to come through. I've just been the mouthpiece. So what have we got for the block for the masculine collective? And bear in mind, both these blocks, you can identify with both of them if this makes sense to you. Interesting. Incomplete. You want someone who completes you, but you need to be whole on your own. Love it. Geeking out. Yeah. So you see what I mean? Like we've got the trying to fix somebody and you need to let them go. And because that's the masculine energy. So remember, I feel this is a lot of people's past actually, rather than present, but it might be your present now. It depends where you're at in the journey. The masculine at some point, whether you're male or female, you've felt incomplete and you've maybe been a bit codependent on lovers in the past or still now, or friends or family or mixture of all of it. And there's something innately missing that you've maybe tried to find in other people. And I feel I'm tapping into a lot of you men and women that you're like, you either reach the point in the past where you're like, I can't repeat this pattern anymore. Like, I'm fed up of this. I need to actually love myself. And what that's going to take is spending time with no one, like romantically, like actually getting to know me. Deep. Right. Let's pull another one. Criticizing. Criticizing your partner is driving them away. Focus on their good qualities. Oh, that's juicy as well. Oh my God, how crazy is that? Criticizing is like one of the shadow traits of Virgo energy. So it's like, but remember, this is the masculine card. So I feel this is a way. Now, again, listen, guys, particularly, well, there's a few things. With the moon in Aries, raw truth, which I'm always going to deliver because I am an Aries with Venus in Aries, but also the fact that it's a dark moon brings in the shadow aspect of the goddess energy. A lot of even like the dark divine feminine kind of empowerment. I don't mean dark as in like bad. I mean like a bit more kind of sassy, badass kind of brutal truth. The Mars opposite Pluto bringing in some powerful energy there too for transformation. If you can handle the truth. If you can handle the truth. I've not even seen that film, by the way. I just like quoting it. And Venus Saturn conjunction as well. It's like all quite serious energy, but it's a reality check. So that's what this message. Maybe that's why we're only allowed to do Virgo tonight, because it's like bringing in some real raw, reality checks. Because that is what Venus Saturn is. That's why I'm so fascinated by it, because I've got that with my own twin flame, but also when I've seen it with other people, it's something just feels really serious about it, and that can send one running. people at times. But or you can choose to reframe it and be like, oh, maybe it feels important for a reason, you know what I mean? Um, so criticizing, but yeah, I feel this is where in the past, whether you're male or female, you've looked for flaws. Like you've tried to find reasons of why this won't work and why you can't be with this person. And the guidance is that, you know, if you're still in that place, what do you like about this person? What do you love about this person? Because basically, when you criticize people that much, it's really, it's like, you know, you've got to kind of turn it back around on you, you know, and then it doesn't mean that you don't observe. Like, again, I show it all the time. Like, I observe loads. And like I say all the time, it surprises me that I score when I've done these tests that I'm like one of the least judgmental people ever. And I'm always like, really? Because I've got opinions on things. But I know what it means. It's that I can make an honest assessment and judgment on something, but I don't judge people because I listen almost daily to people's darkest secrets, things they're not proud of. You know, this was my past. And then I release them from it. Like it's like, yeah, okay, I heard that you done that and you're not proud. Particularly a lot of men I can think of. I heard that you done that in the past and you're not proud of it. But if you decide to release that part of you, and you know you've learned the lessons, you've explored into the shadow, and now you want to be who you are today and move forward, then you can do that today. To me, that's what deliverance is. My modern way of doing it. Um, but yeah, women need that too. So you know what I mean? It's I feel that's really pulling that in there. So I quite love that. But yeah, look out for that if you still do that. That nobody's perfect. And I know that's interesting. They flashed up that film You've Got Mail because I don't know about you, but I mean, have you ever seen that? Like I used to, whenever I sort of caught that on the telly, I used to like switch the channel and that. I used to, I don't know, I didn't really, which is quite funny because I love a chick flick. But when it's been coming on the movie channel, or I don't know, I think it is a movie channel quite a lot. So I have watched it a few times now. And actually, it was really interesting because I had made a snap judgment about that film that was wrong. Because it's actually a really good film, and it's really going to fit, I feel, for those twin flames where you're quite different. Which again, that's all twin flames. So there'll be some things where you're really similar, and some things where you're totally different. But in that, it's like she's the one that's like very like overthinking and like just um you know, like talking a lot and stuff like that, and just like you know, overthinking and chatting with it, and like he's. Oh, well, I don't know. I can't break it into masculine and feminine actually in this. So just you know, you recognize whatever. But it's like she's one way and got her certain ways about things, and then he's this other way. And but there's a few key moments in that film where there's somebody just says something that makes something click for the other. Particularly like a lot of the moments with him actually. Because I'm thinking if there's a really funny moment actually where the dad is like, I can't, he says something to the guy, and then he's like, oh yeah, you know, apparently her moon was in your second house or something like, you know, kind of take the piss out of astrology. But um it was something along the lines of like the guy says something like, oh, you know, because you're always, I don't know, he must say something like you're always looking for the person that is perfect for you. I can't quote it exactly, something like that. And then the dad's like, "Oh, you're never going to find that." And then something you see this. So I feel either one of you has had a moment like that, or that's the kind of moment you're going to have. And all this powerful combination of astrology is that you know nobody's ever going to be perfect. You're not going to be perfect. Your twin flame's not going to be perfect. They're going to trigger you. You're going to trigger them. But that's true of all people. We can all trigger each other at different points. So it's kind of like that feeling of who's worth putting the effort in. You know what I mean? And surely it's got to come back down to your twin flame because it is the other half of your soul. But again, some people don't make that decision. So I don't know, that's really coming through. But yeah, maybe some of you need to watch that You've Got Mail. Because it's funny how, spoiler alert, click off now if you don't want to hear the end. But like I like how it ends up that like she's wondering who this guy is that she's talking to on the internet is, and then you know it turns out that it's him. Because right at the end of the film, she's like, you know, I hoped it was you, But the whole way it's like they're kind of bickering and arguing and making out they don't like each other, but actually they were falling in love. So, oh, that's quite beautiful. That's a very Venus Saturn thing. Um, so, but again, you see how you bring it back to when you were busy criticizing the other, you were probably criticizing things about yourself. It's not always that way, but it's like being too hard on yourself. If you're hard on yourself, it's very likely you're going to be hard on your other. And also, can I just say, if you've got really intense Saturn transits going on, absolutely like a Saturn return. But also if you've got really strong Saturn energy, like that's me, like whether I like it or not, I've got a very Saturn energy because my Saturn is in the first house, beside my Mars too. So whether I like it or not, people feel the intensity of not only my Scorpio rising conjunct Pluto, they feel that I know the subconscious lurking fears and desires, and they wouldn't be wrong. I do. I can't hide it. That's my gift. You see it every day how I do it. But the difference is I feel it in people. I won't always name it. You know what I mean? It's not appropriate. Definitely not, well, most of the work I do actually is appropriate. Like I was doing that with someone today. I do that in my sessions. But in my everyday life, I feel things going on with people and I don't point out to them because it's not fair, Like if it's not come to the person's awareness, then you shouldn't be privy to it. I can't help that I am. God drops things into my soul. Literally, again, I'm being cryptic, but something happened yesterday where it was like, yeah, I just felt God dropping something into my spirit. And I had to laugh because it was really funny. It was something that I wasn't really meant to know, but it just that's how it happens. Um, but yeah, so that's important too, and that's a good one for all sort of counselors to take on board. You know what I mean? It's more powerful for the person to have the realization themselves and come to it. Because also nobody likes I know it all. But anyway, however that all fits. So we need to crack on with this. I took fucking ages to describe that, but like I said, this one's gonna be longer. We're ignoring the timer. I'm having fun. It might mean that I do another sign, but we'll just see. So, 100% clear. I'm in the middle of that now, fixing myself and really concentrating on not criticizing myself and others. That Virgo self talk can be very destructive. Yeah, but I mean, that's powerful to be able to recognize that. So, go you. Right. Where will we go now? So, that's the blocks. Like I said, that's either current blocks or past. I think let's do some self love. So, because Venus rules Taurus and that is love. We'll obviously do some romantic love stuff, but self love too. Because, like I said, the majority of the work I do with people, it is self love. It's inner child healing, inner child soul retrieval, teaching people how to set boundaries, teaching people to value themselves. Because all this stuff is important on the twin flame journey. There's plenty other people that will read about the romance, and actually, I am one of those people too. That's what I laugh about. What I do in a personal session is actually, I wouldn't say nothing like what I do with client sessions, but kind of, like I've been sort of getting loads of downloads about how to, I just don't know that there is really a way for me to show, other than if I mean, maybe I will be that brave to do that. I have done that in the past, actually. I have actually healed people live on here. I do it every day, but you know what I mean? Like, do one that's almost like what I do in a session. Um, but yeah, just know that I definitely read about the romance and the troubles and the roller coaster ride of the twin flame journey in the videos every day. But that is not what I do in sessions. It's just the truth. If you want that in a session, we can do it, but it's not what people tend to come to me for. They come to me to, whether they know it or not, to highlight their subconscious blocks that they're avoiding. And I'm the person that will point it out. But that's the people that get the biggest results and changes. Like again, actually, do you know what? I'll do it, I'll post it, but I'll read it out to you because um like I loved yeah, see, look, there we go. Look, so I've just seen her reply. So here I'm gonna read this is what my beautiful client said. So during my session today with Claire, we connected with my inner child to uncover the reason for my addiction to chips. Now in America, chips are crisps, guys. And I don't know about you, but as I told my client, I fucking hear you. I've said before, I make no secret, I love crisps. There's not many crisps I don't love. I fucking love crisps. So let me know what your favorite crisps are in the comments after this, because that would help the algorithm. Just saying. Or let me know what crisps you like, or chips. Let me know what chips you like in the live chat. But I have got too many. We'd be here all day. I love, I'm going to tell you anyway, salt and vinegar squares. Although I've kind of got a bit bored of them. I haven't. Salt and vinegar squares, salt and vinegar, basically. Salt and vinegar squares. See, when having a crisp sandwich, that's what I want. Salt and vinegar crisps. At a push, I would settle for ready salted, but it always needs to be salt and vinegar crisps if I'm having a sandwich. Because I said that to my mum the other day. When I'm eating a sandwich, I always either need soup or crisps. It's boring without it. So anyway, but but yeah, I love those boogle things too. They're in the UK. I don't know if you've got them, but they're nice. Don't know what flavor they are. I don't know what flavor they are, but they're nice. Um, Discos, love discos. Any flavor really. Any flavor of squares too, to be honest. But yeah, I love crisps. So anyway, but like getting back to the point. So, but the point is like that I noticed that some of the things I help people with, not all of them, I'm able to help somebody because I could really identify, and then it just works. So during my session today with Claire, we connected with my inner child to uncover the reason for my addiction to crisps. And in particular, Doritos. I would eat entire bags without stopping. Again, I hear that too. I had a feeling already that was tied to the needing comforted, but the hypnosis session revealed so much more about the reason and allowed me to finally let it go. It was tied to my dad and not seeing him much as a child due to his issues with alcoholism. He would give us treats that we didn't usually get, so I associated the treats with comfort and seeing him. I also found that I used them as a reward for working hard. Claire walked me through an exercise of throwing out the Doritos bag, and I felt a huge weight lift off me. And I'll touch on that in a minute, what I felt like doing it. I felt that I could finally be done with them. The hypnosis shifted something that has loomed over me for almost a lifetime. And this client is older than me. We'll not say what age, but that's important for you to know. I have done deep inner work with Claire and others, and on my own, that has prepared me to get to this point. And I'm really proud of this woman because she has done a lot of work with me over the years. And like I said, that like I've been saying, like I'm loving in the last year or two. I'm definitely this in this last year. All my clients, all of them, like will be doing some kind of work with like either another healer or another coach or another mentor at the same time as me, and it works in conjunction. Like there's it's, you know, it works very well with what I'm doing. So it's quite interesting that I don't know the other people that my clients are working with, but it seems to just work very well because again, when somebody is truly a shaman, it's we're not in times of competition. It's about collaboration and cooperating and community, and you know it's different energies to support. You know, it takes a village. um so but this session was pivotal. I feel that I can now move forward without this monster in my closet. So just really powerful. And then when I just wrote back to say thanks, she's said, you know, it felt big, and you're welcome. So you know what I mean? Like, and again, that was quite good for me too, because I usually say after a session, you know, just focus on yourself, and because that's obviously an important thing that the person got what they needed, but focus on yourself, you know, and further down the line, after the 3 weeks is up, if you want to write a review, that's brilliant because it helps other people and obviously helps my business, helps people get an idea of what I'm actually doing in these mysterious sessions, because like I said, it's hard to show you. Um, but today I felt guided to say, because that felt really big, and if whilst you're in the energy, if you can write something, that would be brilliant. So again, really grateful. You know who you are, and that goes for anyone. Doesn't matter how long ago the session was. If you've connected something back, because the amazing thing about that woman is, even just today, she noticed that something I planted a seed of years. I mean, she noticed that about other stuff too, but there was something specifically that she had wanted to come about in her life, like further down the line. And we're basically, now that we're further down the line, she remembered, she was like, oh, I remember you saying that in that visualization. And basically now she's like in that part of her life because it's a few years later. So yeah, it's quite amazing how that all sort of comes together. So, yes. So, and wait a minute, I'll just respond to one of you that's asked me something. So Renee, my email that only I see is clair-everything@gmail.com. So make sure you get the spelling right. Basically, the E from the end of clear also leads on to the word everything. Clear everything. So it's not two E's. So that's for everyone else to know as well. But right now that is only my eyes too, that one. But the Soul Fam Wolf Pack, at some point, other people will have access to that. So just be aware of that. So that's because there's some other people that chat to me on that too. So if you don't want anyone else to see it, further out, then email me at clair-everything because I'm just thinking about somebody else that's okay. And I will read your one after because that's longer, so I won't be able to take it in. But yeah, right. But yeah, pretty powerful. So if you want to have shifts like that, book a session. But yeah, it was the throat chakra for me, like me asking, me just saying, like, because I'm always really polite. That's the thing. Virgo's about being polite as well. And I might be an Aries, but because my Aries sits in the house of Virgo, I am very polite, but I'm kind of funny because I'm like, I swear a lot and I'm blunt, but I'm very polite with most things. You know what I mean? I'm actually almost too cautious. Like, I wouldn't want to bother people and stuff. So I feel a lot of you would resonate with that too. But I'm glad I asked because in the moment, it feels quite good to be able to let people know what I've done today rather than kind of I've just done this amazing session with somebody. Powered by God, I might add. It's not me. They just choose me to do that for people. But it's like when you're in the energy of it, it's quite good. So anyway, so um you don't know how to use a timer. That is very true. Very true. Because I just ignore it. It's not that I don't know how to use it, it's that I'm blind. I've got time blindness. Shamanic time, don't panic, it's shamanic, which remember, I didn't make that up. Somebody said it in my shamanic group once. So whoever said it's good, but it's I get lost in shamanic time. It depends. Lay's original if I just want salty, Domino's taco cheese if I have a ham sammy, and Boogles are the ultimate road trip snack. Oh, have you got Boogles in America? Oh, interesting. Damn it, Doritos nacho cheese. Yeah, I don't know. I do like Doritos, but it's I don't know. You helped me with codependency situation. It was amazing how quickly after your video I managed to let it go. Oh yeah, that was amazing. Thank you for sharing that. And also, I'm also seeing you with your throat chakra. I'm interested to know what this shift is about. You know who you are. I think Can I just say because this is anonymous right now? It's well, it's kind of anonymous. It's people's screen names. Um, that in itself is telling me there's a huge shift in some of you, particularly divine masculine. The amount of chatting that's going on here tonight with some people. So, right. So, I'm just witnessing and seeing it in you. All of you really, but particularly tonight. So, what have we got for self love then on the this is going to be, I'm going to ignore the timer again. I'm into it now. I'm enjoying it. So, Virgo might just be really long. I've said Virgo. It's just it's whatever. It's just right. So, what have we got for self love and valuing yourself for the feminine side, whether you're male or female? What do people need to hear out there to go with all the other stuff that's come through? I think they're telling me to get off here. Soak in a bath. So I'm going to do that after this. But that's why I can't be all night. I still haven't done my exercise. Yeah, I knew there was something. I need to fit that in. See, I normally like to do that for a day of the nails, but I couldn't. I thought, nah, I can't be bothered doing it. So, but we need to do it. That's the point. I didn't want to do it earlier, but you got to fit it in somewhere. And like I said to my client earlier, there's going to be some days where you're like, you know what? I don't want to do it. And that's all right too. You don't want to do it. You want to dig in ice cream. Fine. Just don't do that every night kind of thing. You know what I mean? Be kind to yourself. So I don't think that's that kind of night for me. I think I can do it and then I can reward myself. And not necessarily with food either, because that was a huge thing I'm doing with people just now, more than a few people. Horace says food. Food, Gloria, food. So do you have a good connection to food? Because if not, that's like trauma related. And like I always say, we've all got trauma. Like before I had healed my trauma around food, and like I said, that's a good point. I love that woman actually put specifically about, because when I started reading it, I was like, oh no, like I hope it's not too personal and I'm not going to want to share it for her. But that woman knows how I work and she knows how much that's actually going to help other people. So that was like really, and again, Virgo's about the specifics. So I love that she actually gave specific details. And sorry for saying she if you watched this at any point, but it's, you know, it's the fact that it's like it's never just about the chips or the crisps or whatever it is for you, or we could go stronger. It's not, the problem isn't the alcoholism, the problem isn't the sex addiction, the problem isn't your addiction to YouTube, the problem is deeper. Do you know what I mean? The problem is deeper and it's connected to something else. So for that person, the real root cause was the father related wounds. And again, because Venus is conjunct Saturn in Pisces, but it's that Saturn is the father. So a lot of you could be having things around your dad or around men in general, or you might be the man that is having, you know, identity crisis. I don't know, like getting in touch with your feeling, you know, whatever all is going on. Um, but yeah, basically bringing it back to soak in the bath for your feminine energy. There's a strong feeling here that what would help you slow down, get out of that busy, 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 busy sixth house Virgo energy. Run a bath, get the Epsom salts, the coconut oil, the lavender. That's what I do. And also, you know, we've all got our wee funny quirks, right? I mean, some of us have got more than others, but one of my funny ones is I have to do that. Like if I run out of coconut oil, it gets me a bit panicky. I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty sure one of those Amazon boxes that I haven't opened is the coconut oil. We're all good. But coconut oil, the lavender, it doesn't need to be lavender. It can be another essential oil, but be careful with essential oils because there's some you can't put in the bath. You'll be burning all your bits and bobs, and that's not going to be good. That's dangerous. Like, I'm not even kidding. It's very dangerous. Because there's a scene in, if you've ever seen uh, Bride Wars, right? Now, oh God, don't know how that's coming into it, but that's what it's called. But it's really about friendship, that film. But there's a scene in it where, you know, she sabotages her with a bad fake tan. And to get it off, the woman is lying in a bath of lemons. And that really confuses me because you couldn't do that. Like, you would be, I think you couldn't do that without having some serious stinging going on. Do you know what I'm saying? Either during the bath or after. But like, I'm not even kidding. Like, although I can't stop laughing right now, that is really dangerous. Please do not bathe with lemons, and definitely not citrus or lemon essential oils. Very not okay. So anyway, essential oil chat out the way. But again, I do love my essential oils. I've said that before that not only have I actually got, well, that it's one of my mum's best friends, but it's actually one of my friends. So she might tune in to hear now and again. But she's like an aromatherapist. And like I had been told by a medium years ago that, you know, as I got older, that would be another thing that I would add to what I do. But like I don't see me sort of doing that till in my 50s or something. But I am very, you know, I've got essential oils everywhere and that, but I do know that much that you shouldn't fuck about when you don't know what you're doing. But there's ones where you can just put, like, they're already blended and you can put them in the bath. And lavender's one that you can just put that in the bath anyway. But and the same with kids too. Like you can use them with kids too, but like don't put as much. So if you put like 4 or 5 drops for an adult, just put like 2 drops max if you're doing that for a kid. Because the lavender helps children go to sleep and stuff. You know, it helps adults go to sleep. So anyway, yeah, you might need an Epsom salt bath to clear your energy. But yeah, soak in the bath. So like I said, I don't know about you, but that's resonating for me because I just love a bath. Sometimes I'll have 2 baths in a day. You know what I mean? Or a shower. But I do like a shower too, but I don't. Shower's not my go-to. It's always I'd rather just have a bath. Um, right. So what have we got for the masculine side? Spend time with friends. Right. So, but this is interesting because on this card they're like doing very sort of like healing things. Like they've got the cards out, they've got the crystals, they've got a wee notepad, incense, they're drawing things, creativity, like it looks like they're drinking cacao there or something. They might be drinking tea, but you know what I mean? So it's like blending in. I feel if you're the masculine energy, male or female, there's something here about either spending time with friends or lovers or family, people that you've got a common interest with, but it feels like something that would be beneficial, like healing. Again, because bringing it back to Virgo in the sixth house, it's about healing. So whoever it is, you feel like you can heal around, like in a safe way. So you know, that's what I'm getting from that. Because again, I could also pull in like, you know, all the friendship messages that have been coming through the last few days are about shit pals. Basically, like, I mean, I didn't say it like that, but that's what I was getting from it. Was like, are you getting back from this person what you give to them? You know what I mean? And it's not always like that. Not all friendships can be, you know, like I always say, it was said to me years ago that whatever it is I do for it's like it's going to be very hard for somebody to match my energy because I love hard and I care for fucking strangers on the internet. Like, have you seen how much I care for a stranger I don't even fucking know? So you can imagine how much I love the people that I actually know in my life. Like, it's like it's quite hard to be able to do that again. And I feel that is because it's like God and Mary Magdalene energy and all the Mother Mary. It's like that kind of part of me that shells Claire to help this person in need. So, but yeah, generally speaking, if you've got a whole load of kind of narcissistic takers and you're always giving and what are they actually adding to your life, then you know, change it up. Goes without saying. Could we get another one for the feminine energy? And then I'll go back to that. Feminine energy, we've got space. The quality of your life has more to do with what you do. Oh, look, yeah. See, that's interesting how I've done the feminine, then I've done the masculine, and they've made me go back to the feminine because you should be able to recognize all of this for like for both, if it resonates. The quality of your life has more to do with what you remove from your life than what you add to it. Give yourself the gift of space. So take that from what you will. So back to the masculine energy now. Oh, action, which is masculine energy. Oh, oh my, oh my God, fucking hell, we found the thumbnail. I don't think I've seen a more wow set of cards for what I'm channeling. Look at this. Action, intuition, and risk. I don't think I even need to explain that. So self-care, self-love masculine, male and female, would be taking action, following your intuition to take action and take a risk. Wow. And that blows my mind. The feminine has take a bath, basically be in your feminine energy. Don't do very much. And the masculines that are ready, fuck it, let's go. You know what I mean? Whenever this happens. Sorry, I need to turn that fucking heater off. I'm boiling. Hang on a minute. Ugh, fucking boiling. It's getting hot in here. I need to open the window. It really is hot. Oh, that's better. God. Right. Now I need to be careful because this top creeps up. Don't care about you see my jammy bottoms. I'm always wearing jammy bottoms. Would you sit in your jeans when you're sitting on a couch for hours? No. Right. So, um, sorry, I'm going to read back these comments. I'm just on a roll. Take a chance. Every risk is a success when you're committed to learning and growth. Love it. Action. Take action. The journey to find your lost self begins with one step. Oh, that's interesting wording. The journey to find your lost self begins with one step. But that's also connected to why I just was guided to read out my client's feedback there. That's what we were reflecting on today, was the journey that she's been on since she's been on my radar, which is since 2020. So you know what I mean? It's like the journey to reclaim her lost self it's been an honor to watch. It's amazing watching somebody like piece back the soul loss, the trauma that they have. Like I said, whether we call it, I've always said this, but whether we call it where you were disassociated or whether you had like soul loss and fragmented soul, it's the same fucking thing. It is the same thing. Like, you know what I mean? Different people describe it in a different way, but it's the same thing. And we've all got it somewhere. We'll all just switch off from something that hurts too much. Like I haven't mentioned this for ages, but what just sprang to mind when I said that was when I went through that. Well, basically, it was my dark night of soul. But when I went through that trauma on my uni course, like, I'm sorry to say that I actually did completely switch off from my friends that were really beautiful friends. Like they were best friends. They were, turned out in some cases they were actually better friends than the friends that I felt were my best friends. If I'm brutally honest about that. Um, and sometimes, there's a sadness about that what I was thinking in my life at the time was good for me turned out it actually wasn't, and it's kind of like, but due to the trauma that went on at that time and what happened on that particular situation, unfortunately, I had associated. Oh God, this is really deep. So again, don't have me crying again. I'm tired, but I can see where they're going with this because Virgo's about healing. I'm telling you about the healing journey that I've went on, and that I'm not perfect. So because some people that are new to me, you might not realize that happened, but like I can talk about it because that was, it wasn't exactly 10 years ago, but it wasn't far off it because I'm just trying to think. I started my course in 2004. I think it was the end of 2004. Like, I think it must have been September 2014. Yeah, September 2014. So, oh yeah, so it is over 10 years ago I started it. But basically, the point is I sadly associated those particular friends with pain because it was such a painful course that whenever I saw them, it reminded me of what I went through. So it was kind of funny. Like, long story short, you know, they tried and I tried, but from I can only speak from my point of view. It was too painful for me, but it doesn't mean that I didn't love them and that I don't still love them and wish they're happy. But it's kind of like, so it's not always that you're not friends with people anymore because you fall out. It was more complicated than that, and that was what I went through in my life, and that was what was best for me. But like I said, if I ever bumped into these people in the street or that, I'm pretty sure we'd have a chat and all that to get it. And it's just, it's a shame, isn't it? Like sometimes things happen like that. But there's definitely something about like what is a healthy friendship and what isn't. Because they're actually now reminding me of, I remember a conversation I had with one of those friends. And what I'm laughing about is sometimes I'm like, when I tell these stories, sometimes I'm wondering, are any of these friends actually watching this? And if they are, then, I would be honored, if people are. But I'll just push that aside to tell the story. That I remember there was one of those girls really helped me to recognize. Now, this could make me cry, but I'll just feel in it. Where I was like supporting somebody. Actually, that person recognized way more than the person just recognized the pattern of overgiving. See, they're pulling it back to the card. Overgiving with a couple of people close to me, but they never told me what to do. And bear in mind, these people are all they're real counselors, but you know what I mean? Like, they're real counselors. Like, they got the bit of paper and they're out in the matrix, and I'm sure they will be doing amazing work with people. Whereas I decided to go down the shamanic counselor route and throw my cards about and crystals and all that. And again, all those girls loved that about me. And that's something they might, oh shit, every time I talk about them, I cry. They might not be my friends anymore, but that part of my life, I always do treasure and value because I know that I taught each and every one of those girls and some men on that course too about self-love, where they needed it and made a difference in their life. Like, I always say, I actually really do feel I just got put on that journey to go through hell in every way, shape, and form with the organization, the institution of uni, which is a fucking sham. Everything about it is a fucking joke, like, to be honest. And I've been to uni twice. Because am I using anything to do my degrees to do this? No, I'm fucking not. I'm using the fucking trauma of the course with the money that I didn't have to fucking do it, actually. You know what I mean? And I always feel that'll come back to me tenfold. And like I always say, I will get justice by going down the proper route of getting justice because I tried to, and they went through the protocols, but they just fucking yanked my chain and then they, kicked me out. If you didn't know that, that's a brutal thing. Because of their feelings, they were like, get her out. She speaks too much truth. We've let her down, get her out. That was the way they dealt with that. But I always say, I'll get my justice by writing a best selling book telling my story one day. And I will do that, guys. But that won't be the whole book because I don't want to give that much attention to it. But it is an important thing to say. So again, I really didn't know I was going to say all that. But again, it must be the Pluto opposite Mars. But the point is I also got something back from those friends at that time. And there's pivotal things that I remember people saying to me, particularly about others around me, that these girls could see. Well, like I said, one in particular could see that I was completely overgiven, above and beyond what I'd already given to this person. Like, it was almost like saying without saying, you don't need to give anymore. You don't, like, look how much you don't need to give anymore. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to stop giving to this person, you're allowed to do that kind of thing. And I needed to hear it, and I remember that. So it's important to, reflect on these sort of things. So I don't know how that all comes. But again, it's about helping each other, isn't it? Because Virgo 6th house is helping each other too. And it's healing and it's friendship. So that's the way I'm taking that to come in. So, but yeah, there's something about taking a risk, taking action, and following your intuition. And I would say listening to the advice of good friends that want the best for you, which might not always be easy because although I'm telling that story that way, I remember at the time I was just kind of like, but I love them and I just want to help them, and you know what I mean. And it's kind of like, but now looking at older and wiser, and it's like, God, that was like over and above too much to give to somebody when I wasn't getting the same back. And again, I'm swapping in out. I'm swapping in and out of different things, but because it's different things, different people have said it. Because but yeah, Anyway, wherever that fits, I know I'll just trust it'll make sense to whoever. So let's do some affirmations now. This is going to take forever, but it's fine. Da, da, da. Oh no, there actually I had read all of that. Mars v Mars and Leo, Mercury and Aries. Oh, right, okay. Um, and must be Mars and Leo, Mercury and Aries. Yes, it must be. But don't go quiet. Don't go quiet on us again. That's the main point. Um, so wow, I was just thinking about a video I should do, and I think you were talking to me, right? Well, there you go. Whatever you got from it. And hello, Charlotte. How are you doing? You joined at a deep and meaningful bit, although it's all deep and meaningful. Right, I'm going to put that in there. So, what if we got an affirmation for the divine feminine, which can be your inner divine feminine or whatever? My day begins, and oh, look at what I was talking about. My day begins and ends with self-love and appreciation. Do you do that? A lot of you don't do that, but you should. You should appreciate yourself and the effort that it took you to get out your bed today and get on with stuff. Because it's hard. In this current climate that we live in, it's hard. But you should be thankful for yourself. I wake up in the morning loving myself, praising myself, and telling myself I love being me. Now, I'm going to keep it real here, guys. That one might be very hard for some of you to say as well, because a lot of you will have been programmed and conditioned to believe that that's being a big head or something, or it's being too up yourself. So, really sort of think about some of the things, the triggers that come up with that. Because, like I talk about that fairly often, that when you come across somebody confident, because I come across that all the time, when others see somebody that's confident, rather than like being like, wow, I wonder how that person got that confident, some people automatically go to, oh my God, who the fuck do they think they are? Or like, oh my God, they love themselves. Or oh my God, what a big head. And it's kind of like, you shouldn't assume that about people because you don't know what it took for them to be doing that. And again, I know that because I'm one of those people. Like, that's why I'm seeing when people that don't talk at all or don't talk very much are talking a lot. I'm like, fucking hell, wow, keep it coming. Because think about when you've had people say things to you that are not helpful. Like again, it's anonymous, but I remember once it was I was, let's just say I was at something that's very similar to this kind of vibe. Like it's meant to be like a safe circle. And I was talking about something, and it's funny because what I was talking about was I was actually really excited because James Van Praagh, name drop, but it's the truth. Like James Van Praagh he'd gifted me his book, and it was when he picked me out the crowd and said, "You heal the angels 24/7, and I'll see you again one day." And I was excited, and it was relevant when I was saying it. Um, and I'll never forget what was it? She was older, and she was an amazing woman, but obviously hadn't worked through a lot of her own stuff, and she projected some kind of weird energy at me, and she basically, it was something along the lines of "You're talking too much." Do you know what I mean? But she didn't actually say. She said something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was like I remember being a bit kind of upset and taken aback. I masked it and I hid it, but I was just kind of like really fucked off as well. And like this was ages ago, so it was kind of like I remember being like, how dare that woman do that to me? Because she doesn't know like my background, she doesn't know my history, she doesn't know what I've pushed through to actually be able to sit in a group and to be able to share something like that and be excited. And it was a place where, all the other people that were listening were like, wow, that's amazing stuff. And I really do feel like rather than it being about the volume of what I was talking, how much I was talking. Because again, in this scenario where we were, you didn't actually have very long to catch up before you were getting on with what you were doing there. It was more the content of what I was saying, and there was jealousy, you know. So which I knew, but it's kind of one of these things you're like, it's fucking hard to. You're like, whatever. But the point is like, yeah, I'm always very mindful of that. I've said before that's why like I'm not a big fan of telling anyone to shut up, because you don't know what that could bring up in somebody. Like, yeah, it doesn't mean that, like I said, I'm not perfect. Like sometimes I've done it on here where sometimes you're like, oh, shut up, or you know what I mean, or shut it, like being like being funny. But even with that, I don't even like that either. But it's kind of like it's just yeah, loads of people do it, but that doesn't make it right. But you know what I'm saying? Just generally, uh, it's not you know it's not very fucking nice, is it? Now, when somebody's talking shit and they're purposely using it with intention to harm, then they do deserve to be told, hey, you, shut it. That's my pal. Because I wrote that on the live stream last night. Do you know what I mean? Like, but there's a way to say it without actually saying it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't actually want to hear this, but I know that person, and I don't know the whole story, but I don't like what you're saying, and I wouldn't like to think that they would be in a room letting everybody talk about me. You know what I'm saying? So something along those lines. Um, deep messages tonight. What have we got for the masculine? I rejoice in my creative energy. Fun, uplifting ideas flow through my consciousness, and I follow through on the ideas received, bringing them into full manifestation. Hello, with action, intuition, and take a risk. Something's got into the masculine collectives, right? So we'll put them there. Proud of myself for wrangling both kids through showers before bedtime tonight as they were filthy. Well done, you. You see, you should be proud of yourself for getting that done. Right. So now this is where I'm kind of like, I'm just gonna go wherever. Because I've got so many cards. What sort of themes? You can decide. Let's be interactive. Like I said, this is going to be. I've already ignored the alarm. I'll put another list. This is going to be about 2 fucking hours. How long have I been already? Wait a minute. Oh, what? I've just looked at the thing at 111. That's new beginnings and alignment. Right. So I've been an hour already. That's to be. I don't normally see it, so I can check the time. I always forget to do. Oh shit! Now I can't get that away. That's annoying. Fuck's sake! Piss off. How did I get that to go away? Oh, there we go. There. Right. So, yeah. So Do you want me to do? Will we do? Help me decide. Will I do? Will I go with a romantic love? Will I go with some grounding, earthy, shamanic vibe? Will I go with the tarot? Lots of flowers because I associate that with Taurus, or career stuff or money? Because I'll get it all done at some point. But what will we? Where will we go next? Or the flower oracle? Some of them are just buried. Or we've got the crow deck too. I feel like I need to pull some cards out of that. Shout out to Connor because he sent me them. Let's see. Thank you for that. That was a while ago, but I always remember when somebody has like whether it was from someone. Let's put them. I'm hungry. Come on, guys. Come on. Hurry up, chat. I know it's not you, it's YouTube that is just so slow. My stomach's rumbling. Earthy appeals to me, right? Earthy. Now, when I said that, what ones did I have in mind? Let's see. I think these. Now, the problem is we're not going to see a problem before there is one because I'll be able to say something. I wanted to find the guidebook for these ones because I like the messages, but I don't know where it is. What have we got then? Give us a card for the divine feminine, and that can be the masculine's feminine side. Oh, yeah, there is a bit. I've said things like that tonight. Great mystery. So I feel divine feminine. This is about you being a great mystery in yourself. Whether you are a female or a male divine feminine, you are meant to be a great mystery. You are either a high priest or a high priestess. It's like when I was saying, nobody really knows what it is that goes on those Zooms, do they? Unless you've had one. And even with that, not all Zooms are the same. So, wait a minute. I don't know if I've actually held any of these cards up long enough to get a thumbnail, but this one might be a good one. And also, that kind of looks like the Northern Lights as well. Come on, oh, for fuck's sake, it's shining. Right. I think I stopped talking now. Yeah, that's fine. Right, so divine feminine, you're a great mystery, but also the divine masculine's feelings are a great mystery. Maybe even to yourself, but they're a great mystery to others as well, and the divine feminine. Where is the divine masculine at? Circle of life. Yeah, that feels relevant. There is something about karmic endings, karmic cycles completing. And again, I'll always love when I'm doing a live when I've had a client session that day, because that's not always the way. Like I said, there's some weeks when I don't have clients, but because I had a client earlier today, and it was so interesting that, like I said, that there was abandonment wounds, well, basically childhood stuff, but like that came up in the session. And again, I wouldn't always, by the way, it's important to stress, I'm only saying that because she wrote it in the thing. I wouldn't say if you don't want me to. I wouldn't say anyway, you know what I mean? It's only because I got her permission. But that's what came up in the collective energy. So I know that quite a lot of you could be going through this. But this feels like the world card, the old 21. You know, it feels like coming full circle with something and really learning a lesson. Completion. And that's Saturn energy again, the world card. Let's see if it comes out. Spirit Keeper of the South, right? So for me, that feels like definitely you could be currently being guided to heal wounds around your teenage years or your feelings, some deep-seated pain, like looking closer with oil medicine, the discernment, and prayer feather. So I feel that's about praying for support to release. Yeah, and then it came out again. Spirit Keeper of the South, Shapeshifter, Spirit of Fire, transmuting some of that pain. So that's what's coming up there. And it gets quite funny in that deck. Like it's like some of the meanings of that are not the meanings that it means to me, but that's okay because, like I say all the time, I just think there's so many things in life. There's not just like one answer. So that might be the way somebody else does it. It's like I always use astrology as an example, right? There's some textbook astrology ways to read things, right? And then there's some people that do astrology and it's not textbook. And I'm one of those people, but I appreciate both, you know? So it's everybody has their own way. So um right, okay. So where will we go now? I think we'll go to some tarot. So could you just tell me, so let's get some present energy. What is presently going on in the divine feminines that I'm picking up on? What's presently going on in the divine feminine, female and male, that this might speak to? Right, again, with this, I'll more look at the picture. So I feel you are, whether you know it or not, I feel there's a humbling energy going on. I feel you're very grateful, and I feel there's things humbling you right now, but I feel also you have humbled your own masculine, whether you realize that or not. I feel there some of you might get some confirmation. I feel at some point, well, you will at some point, but at some point, like where you've made a difference in this person's life. Because I just love that how like the guys connect them with the buff. I think it's the buffalo, isn't it? The buffalo, which is like actually that is very abundance Taurus vibes as well. Um, and one of my guides is white buffalo calf women, so that's what I'm getting from that. And on the bottom of the deck, we've got the magician. Yeah, like you've got everything you need inside you, and you're going through a huge transformation yet again, a metamorphosis. And there's infinity symbol, but you've got everything you need inside you. And because you feel that way, your masculine is really feeling that. So I'm going to shuffle the flower deck and see what comes out now. Now that your job is to remember what I said for the feminine. What have we got? Can I just ask for this deck now? You're dropping the burdens, 10 of Wands. And remember I said that earlier about the word burden, because they're just talking through me. There's something I've used the word burden a lot in different contexts today. So you're dropping the burdens. So whatever felt heavy, and look, there's a wee bee. So the wee bee at the top of the card. Whatever burdens you were carrying, you're ready to drop them. So again, I'm going to read this feminine energy for the masculine too. So what else for the feminine? Yeah, again, you've went through a huge transformation, the death card. Look, there's the lily that keeps coming up as well. It was actually in reverse though, so you could still be going through releasing something. And remember, the dark moon is about releasing, which we're in right now. And that's what was helping somebody do today. And again, I feel you're in a strong place of boundaries. So we've got the Queen of Swords. So yeah, I do feel that this is about you. You're dropping the burdens, you're going through a huge transformation, and you're paying attention to your boundaries. And like I said, with this astrology, you need to, because some people are not going to be in a good place. Yeah, I particularly, so again, even if this is just one person, there's something about having boundaries with an Empress in reverse. So that could be a mother, a mother figure, somebody that is a mother, mother of a child, like whatever all this kind of fits with. But an Empress in reverse is, cold, unloving, not nurturing, doesn't really know how to give that love, and definitely, and if they're giving love, it's conditional. It's not unconditional. Um, Something coming through about that. So bear in mind. So now breaking that down before I shuffle them back in, this can be for the masculine too. You could feel like life is humbling you, or that you've been humbled by circumstances or your own feminine, but actually you're grateful. I feel some of you are healing and resting after a time of conflict, because these are all the ones that are behind it. But you are also, if you're not there already, you feel like you've got everything inside of you, and it's because the feminine has reached that place inside of her or him. You're dropping the burdens. you're going through a huge change, and you might not, and because you're going through a huge change, some of you might not be ready to take that action and that risk towards your feminine. Some of you are ready to do that, even amidst the change, because like I've said tonight, nothing's perfect. If you wait for the day that you're going to be perfect, you're going to be waiting a long time, and you can miss opportunities. And guess what the next card is in the tarot with 7-8 cards? The missed opportunity card. You could be looking so much at the problems that you miss the huge opportunity. And you stay stuck in a karmic cycle because we've got the funny guy card, but it's not, that guy's not moving on. He's staying stuck because he didn't take the opportunity, missed opportunity. I could be reading people's past here too, but it could be present. What's the next card? 7, yeah, bad investment. 7 of Pentacles. That, how interesting. Look, this deck is talking, because behind it we've got another card about humbling, the Strength card, and she's humbling a lion. But now we've got the 6 of Pentacles. So I definitely feel for some masculine energies, like this is where you surrender to your ego death and you give equally in the twin flame connection. After a bad investment. Again, that is a lot, that's going to be a lot of your past. I know that from client sessions. I just know that from what I do every day. But yeah, and the same thing. You're dropping the burdens, you're going through a huge transformation, putting your boundaries up with, in this case for the masculine, I feel that could be an Empress in reverse and the Queen of Swords you're putting your boundaries up with. Or that's the same person, because they added to the confusion and illusion around a union where there's meant to be a victory. Oh, wow, look. 4 of Wands, the old 18, 4 of Wands, 4 of Wands and the 6 of Wands. There's meant to be a victorious union. And whoever those people are, they delayed it or prevented it. So again, this is just where specific messages are coming out. So now let's shuffle for the masculine. And I mean, if you can, let's see if any of the same card. Look, a group working against you. It's just the same fucking mess. The same message is going to keep coming out until everybody listens. Some of you have listened, but some people might not be listening. That it's people on the inside are working against you. Right. What have we got for the masculines that go with that feminine? But as you can see, they blend into one another. Yeah. Yeah. So we've got the Queen of, like, again, the Queen of Swords was in the flower deck, but this is a different bit. Like we had the Queen of Swords with the boundaries up, and now's the King of Swords. So we've got some divine feminines, male or female, that are in a Queen of Swords. Like, you're just going to say it like it is. You're going to be logical, analytical, and you're going to have tight boundaries. But remember, the Queen of Swords in this deck is really gentle, but she hasn't come out. So I do feel there are strong boundaries. But this is a man in the card, but however it fits, this guy is coming with truth and clarity to clear up the confusion. So somebody's masculine is taking action, and they're like, yep, I know I've taken a really fucking long time, but I am following that sunflower where I need to go. I don't know. I just find some cards really funny. But he's like, yeah, that's where I want to go. And I've always known that's where I want to go. But I had to go here, there, and over here, and there. And that's actually taken quite a while. And maybe this guy even got lost. Maybe when he was trying to follow the map, he got a little bit lost. But you could be a she too, so just take however this fits. But yeah, the Knight of Pentacles is not known for going fast, put it that way. But they take their time because they do it right. What am I channeling now? It's not a Scorpio moon, guys. Tone it down. But yes. Somebody's coming with his truth and clarity, and they've taken their time before they come forward. They held back. So if this was you, you held back from giving to this connection. But now you're like, oh my God, that's so funny. These all came out together. Now you're like, yeah, I got the steering wheel. The sunflower's been upgraded. I'm on my way. I'm the King of Pentacles. I'm the King of Swords. I'm the King of Pentacles, and I'm coming in, baby. I'm not letting these blocks get in my way. I'm going to cross the river. There's the woman that's like, I'm crossing anyway. You're not blocking my way, haters. You've kept me in sleepless nights worried. Although I'm saying this really funny, this is not nice. This is like people that have blocked unions and caused more distress and aggravated people's worries and trauma. And like, look, she's like crying. So again, if you're the masculine, it doesn't matter whether you're a woman or a man. This is the people that have put blocks and delays in your way and cause sleepless nights and worry. Now, again, some of you could have caused that to yourself. It could be a mixture for all, but it's either way. You're not holding back now, and you're on your way. You're the guy with the shit together, or the girl with your shit together. Yeah, somebody kept you like going back and forwards, and in a karmic cycle. Like, remember I said 21. So again, I'll need to see when I watch back. But we got the world card. Well, I mentioned the world card upright, but now we've got in reverse. And look, that's got an exhausted woman on it. So you could be an exhausted woman or man in the masculine energy, and the karmic cycle wasn't ending. People were keeping you stuck in karmic cycles. Again, same story, it comes out with time, but that's what came out. What have we got from the flower deck? Oh, just judgment day for those people. And also, I feel if you are the masculine, you're having a huge awakening about who these people are to you. You are not making, you don't need to make a decision about the sadness and regret. Basically, what I'm getting from that is there's no more indecision about who has contributed to the sadness and regret in your life. You know crystal clearly who has caused this grief and upset, and that's who you're not letting get in the way. And not only have you went from a beautiful seed that you've watered that seed and you've let it grow slowly like the Knight of Pentacles, which isn't the wrong thing to do. It's the right thing to do. We all take our time in different ways. Again, like that's why I share all the time. I help people soar, and sometimes really quickly, because that's what they were ready to do. But me, myself, I take a long time. Like, again, whether that is a Zoom session, although I can do some Zooms in an hour. That's what we're aiming to do with that client that I had today, the next session that we've got next week, because yeah, because it's just quite good for me to I can do it when I need to, when someone's got work, other things. But a lot of the time it's like I take my time because I want to get to the root of the problem. And just also it helps people, trust, when we're sharing and start getting to know each other. And I like to know who the fuck I'm dealing with too. To be perfectly honest, I'm not hiding that fact. I like to get to know people. And that's not everyone, because like I've said before, I've even had people that I've learned from be like, oh, I couldn't be spending all that time with somebody. I want to get in, out, fix the problem and away. They don't want to get involved with people. So I'm bearing the fact that I actually like to talk to people and chat to them and get to know them. It's like I've said before, but it came through to me once from another medium that I actually heal people in the first 5 minutes. So all the rest of it is like, what I mean? Like, and it's true, because I pray and people, what I mean? Because it's God doing it through me, but it's just about, I like, I was about to say I'm a people person. I'm really not in person, but I am on the internet. So. I'm a people person if I like it, but it's not even about liking people. It's too much energy when I'm around people in person. But yeah, the Ace of Coins. There's this masculine energy, or it's Judgment Day for the people that have blocked you, that kept you in sadness and regret, that kept you in indecision. You know where you want to give this opportunity, or you know where you want to go. And also it's like it's a hand with a flower. So this could be somebody like wanting forgiveness, or wanting to give back. Yeah, to a Queen of Swords. And there's the Queen of Swords again. So we got the Queen of Swords on the feminine side, and this is a masculine story about somebody knows they're going towards somebody that have got tight boundaries for good reason. And again, sadly, there's that coming up again. Somebody is moving very quickly away from an Empress in reverse with a love offer. So again, cold-hearted, cold-hearted females. Yeah, that's someone going to a union. 4 of Wands. Love it. Right. So, Well, not do any more of that. I could sit and do that all night. I love doing that. But right, so tell us a wee bit more. What is the guidance for the feminine? Patience and laughter. Well, that's good advice, isn't it? That's what we aim to do around here. Uplift yourself and those around you through love and laughter. Patience. Your prayers have been heard and they're being answered. And that does seem to fit because it seems like somebody's not letting what stopped them, whether it was their own negative thoughts or other people's, usually it's a combination of all of it, stop them. And you know what I mean? So your prayers are being heard. And yeah, so keep on laughing, keep on having fun. There's new beginnings coming. Take this as an opportunity to rise from the ashes stronger and more determined. So I feel that for the divine feminine, that's about acknowledging that you've went through hell and back, but also that's for the divine masculine's feelings. You've went through hell and back, and you're about to rise from this stronger than ever. Phoenix rising vibes. What have we got for the masculine then, and the feminine's masculine side? Boom, drop the mic. Peer pressure. This is my card about gel haters. There's no other way to put it. Peer pressure. Don't let others coerce you into. Oh my god, I can't believe again because people that don't get this, like I literally, I'm just letting it flow. This is exactly what they just said through me with the tarot. Don't let others coerce you into a decision. I said with the tarot, somebody was kept in indecision, but they're not now. You know in your heart what the right choice is. The wording on that card is so on point for what I'm feeling. So be mindful if you are in the masculine energy and you've got a history of being easily influenced by those around you, close around you, whoever the connection is, pay close attention because you know in your heart what the right choice is. Don't let others coerce you into a decision that is not the one you made with your heart. Balance work, rest, and play. That's interesting because I do need to do that. Yellow rose, which is about friendship. And again, but that was friendship in the negative sense, just like the cards last night. It's important for you to have fun along with fulfilling your responsibilities. That is the Venus Saturn right now. Venus would be the having fun part, Saturn would be putting in the hard work and responsibility part. Where do you have too much fun? But fun could be, AKA, pushing aside what you know would benefit you in the long run for your soul and for your mental health and your health in general, because bringing it back to the sixth house, where do you need to dial it down? So it doesn't mean, again, it's like what I said to someone in a session earlier. It doesn't mean that you don't still have a treat now and again. But if you have a treat every fucking night and you have it, like, again, I'm talking about myself here, but I know I'm talking about some of you. But when you have a treat every night and you're like, oh, I've already had two biscuits, but I'm going to go back and get another one. Or I really don't eat that whole big bar of chocolate, but I'm going to do it. Or I don't eat the whole tub of ice cream, but I'm going to do it because there's nobody to stop me. You're going to end up not feeling good about yourself and then you're going to beat yourself up. You know what I mean? So this is why we have hypnotherapists in the world and ones like me that are a mixture of everything. If you've identified, I actually don't want to do that anymore because it's hurting me but I don't know how to stop, that's when you book a session because I'll be able to help you to stop. We'll plant the seed and but basically a lot of it is reasoning. I talk with the person first to be like, are you ready to let this go? And someday, if I assess you're not ready to let this go yet, if it's an addiction, I can spot when somebody's ready to let it go. And if someone's ready, truly ready to let go, you will, and you'll have the best results. But if you're not ready to believe it yet, it's not about the hypnotherapist. It's about you're not willing to let it go yet, you know. So that's some deep things to ponder. But even with that, I can do stuff to help start that process. Um, but you have to want it. That's the point. You don't get change without actually wanting it. Magnify your intentions, baby's breath. Choose a, oh my God, that all fits. Choose a specific goal to work toward. Your energy is spread out among too many ideas. That's the people confusing you. Please bring your focus back to the key intention and let your angels help. So beware of overwhelm, because I did start talking about overwhelm about a million years ago when I started this. Right. Now I think I'll just power through some more decks and then call it a night because it's taking ages here. So, but it's taking as long as it's meant to. What are some big life changes that could be going on in the feminine's life that might resonate for some people watching? More than likely, not all, because these are specific. And also, like I said, Virgo is about specifics. We're getting right down to the dirty details. Take the next step now. Wow. So yeah, release and take the next step now. So if you're the feminine, take the next step now. What's the next step? Look at what I did. That matters that it just came after that speech about healing. If you've identified that you keep self-sabotaging in a certain area, you keep going for an extra biscuit, going for an extra packet of crisps. You can't stop eating the crisps in general, like what my client's thing was earlier. And like I said, that's my big thing too. So the thing, you know what I do? It's pretty easy. I don't buy them anymore. If I buy them, I'm going to eat them all. Don't buy them. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean I never have crisps again. But if I buy them and I hide them from myself, I'm going to go and find them and I'm going to eat them. So don't buy them. And that's why there was a lot of method behind the madness of my mum doing that. My mum didn't used to, she wasn't strict about it. She's like, if you want crisps and chocolate and that, the shop's over the road. It was literally like over the road. So I could go and get it. But that takes effort. So a lot of the time, you know what I mean? Like, I just think that was a really good method. Whereas I went to some like friends' houses when I was younger, and it would be like you were in the shop. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like boxes of crisps and cupboards of chocolate and it's not good. Do you know what I mean? Like again, everybody you can be the own judge of that, but if it's there, you're going to eat it, and it's not going to be good in the long run. So think about that. So that's I'm talking about food because Taurus is food, and it's what's been coming up for a lot of people being led to me, and it's what I'm focused on right now too. Um, but for the masculine too, take the next step now. It's not saying wait. Now is not the right time. And I've got cards that say all of this. It's saying action, follow your intuition, take a risk, take the next step now. You know what I mean? The cards couldn't be any clearer. Right, what have we got for the masculine? Because that was the masculine's feelings and the divine feminine. Take the next step now. What's the masculine? What's a big life change for the masculine right now, male or female? Self-employment. So again, it's quite interesting because it kind of came out in reverse. So it could either be that's really weird actually. Something came out like that yesterday. It feels familiar. I feel there is something about like masculines changing up their job. So that definitely came out yesterday. There's something about wanting to go in a different direction. So, like I said, for some it's love, for some it's work and love. For some, you're actually working with your love. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, but there's things changing up with your job or your employment, or becoming self-employed if you work for someone else. Motivation, yeah, and there's a real motivation and a drive to do that. It's strong, it's a hunger. That's a big life change right now. And I've seen that in my personal clients. And there's support for it, again, because I'm one of the people supporting, helping people with that, bringing it back to what the sixth house is about. Love it, loving this. Right, so work. What have we got? So what is something that somebody watching the feminine energy, male or female, what is something that either someone is in the business of now or something where you would like to be? Because if you're in the business of doing this now, it's just confirmation that I'm picking up on you for at least some of this. And if it's something that you would like to do in the future, that can be possible too. So, and remember, that's funny because I thought that earlier when I was talking to my client, but I didn't say it. The song Impossible went off earlier today. Yeah, because that actually it might have even been earlier today that the stuff about I don't know, it came up somewhere. And then I said something similar to that to my client today, and it just reminded me again, it's like it's not impossible, you know. Some of you are telling yourself that it's impossible to heal from the pain and the trauma that you went through, and it's not. It isn't. Like literally, like it's hard. Like I have helped people with the most like specific, traumatic, dark things that I just really don't even think a lot of you even can fathom how dark I've actually helped people. So you know what I mean? Because that's the stuff that I help people with. So, you know, don't write yourself off like that, you know. Like it's really about, do you want to keep carrying about that pain and that old story? Or like basically, this is sorry, but don't shoot the messenger, but do you want to always be the victim, or do you want to become the victor? Because it's like that's what I learned in my journey. I've had so many horrible fucking things happen to me. I literally could write a book about it all. I could write fucking several books, right? And like I said, I will one day. But the books will have changed, because it's like I said to somebody once in a session that was writing a book. Are you willing to let go of the pain and know that actually you might, because you've changed your mindset so much, you might not want to home in so much on that part of the story, and it actually might be more about the empowerment and the healing and the happy place you're in now, the peace. And that's what I mean. Like when you actually think about what that means, some people don't. Like some people really do want to hang on to their painful story and tell it time and time and time again. And some people will tell you a bit of that, but they'll focus more on what they've overcome and the strength, you know. And there's no real sort of judgment, it's more of an observation. And I think it's important to reflect on that, because people can be very attached to their stories. Um, right, wow, deep. Right, so what have we got for a feminine energy? Healer. Boom, drop the mic. Fucking love it. I love it. Like, this is what I mean. This is why I'm like, I don't mind that I'm taking ages to do this. So if you mind, I'm not the healer for you. But it's like I am a healer that empowers others to heal themselves. Like, yes, I am a healer. I can heal a multitude of the most complex, like random things that people say can't be healed. Well, guess what? I've been a part of that. But it was because God uses me as an instrument to do that for people through prayer, through using the different tools that I was guided to learn. You know what I mean? It's in my own unique way, blending all together. And it's hard to put into words. But all I know is the changes do take place. But this is, I know that I'm talking to other healers as well. And you don't need to be a healer in the sense that I'm one. You can be your own healer. But some of you are a healer as well. Do you know what I mean? But like I was saying, I've said this for the past 10 years. Even if you make people laugh, guess what? You're a healer. Think about when you've been having the shittest day ever. Actually, here's a good one. I had been having a really particularly really shit day. There'd been a lot of stuff that had upset me that day, and I read somebody's email, and they'd sent me the Kevin Bridges video, which was fucking hilarious, and I watched it more than once. That healed me. So there you go, person that sent that email. You know what I'm saying? It's like we've all got our healing gifts in a different way. So, and sometimes, that needs to be acknowledged, um, because that is part of my gift, is I don't miss these wee things about people, and that's important. People that notice every little detail about people, it can scare people, because I notice I notice it all. I notice the lovely stuff, and I'll notice your shadowy traits. But guess what? I'm going to love you anyway. You know what I mean? It depends on which context we're meeting in. It's like I said, when we talk about personal lives, I'll notice the nice and the not so nice traits in someone, and that's where I would maybe choose to. Okay, I'd maybe say hi to you in the street, but I don't want to have you as a close friend, and I'm not telling you all my shit, kind of thing. You know what I mean? But that would more be past Claire, because now I barely leave the house long enough to even have acquaintances. But do you know what I mean? And in fact, I don't. I don't have acquaintances. It doesn't mean I'd be rude, but I don't do acquaintances. Like I said, people are either a best friend or, yeah. I don't even. It's people aren't friends. They're the best friend or they're not my friend. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's kind of how it rolls with me. But it's like you know what I mean? That it's just that's a all or nothing thing. It's a very Scorpio rising thing. But it doesn't mean I'm not nice to people. Like I'm still polite, but I'll have more boundaries with others. It's just wise, and it's just wise because I've worked so much on my own energy to get to this point. I'm not just going to share my energy with just anyone. I don't need to. You don't need to either. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't mean that you don't wish people well and you don't want them to be happy. But you're more selective. Like, I don't need to just be everybody's best friend anymore. Like, you know what I mean? I don't. I'm quite happy having the best friends that I've got. And like I said the other day, I'm that secure and happy with myself. I don't even need to see them all the time. Doesn't mean I don't fucking love my best friend. I talk about how much I love my best friend all the time. And it's quite handy again that it's like, you know, she'll hear enough about my twin flame stuff and all that anyway when I see her, that it's like, you know, it's because what I'm getting is like my best friend is really humble, and you know, actually it fits that she has a best friend that tells her how amazing she is all the time. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like we all fit, and her qualities match me perfectly. Like I always say, like she's my soulmate best friend. um, but yeah, you have the spiritual gift of healing and the desire to share it with others. So notice how I said that, and then the card came out, because that's the way that I read. You might watch other people that this is for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And do you know what I find hilarious? I watch some tarot readers that I love, and some of them don't even fully really know what that means. They're just saying it because the other ones say it. It's true. I'm just calling it out. Like, but that's okay, you know, like that's okay, because I watch very talented tarot readers that do that. But the way I've been guided to do it is this: you don't need to be a Virgo anything. I am telling you, you've got Virgo in your chart. Even if you've got an empty sixth house, even if your Virgo somewhere in your chart hasn't got a planet, you've got Virgo in you. You've got a healer in you. You do something every day. You've got routines, you've got rituals. You fucking overdo it. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? Right, so I think we get it. What have we got for so again, divine feminines, your healers. Divine masculines, emotional side, you're healing for others. Or do you need healing? Whether you're a feminine or a masculine. Because like I said all the time, there's a time when the healers need healing too, and you need to recognize that. And I pay attention to that too, and I do something about it. So, masculine, school. Maybe, yeah, look, the answer that you're seeking involves going to school. But when we tie it together with what I've already said on this live stream, I spoke about not school, but I do touch on school from time to time, don't I? Like I basically say how much I fucking hated it because I did. But but the school of life is more important. But it's I spoke about uni, so we could sort of make that be about uni. That's a fucking waste of time. Now, is uni a waste of time for certain professions? No. Apparently, you do. Like, think about it. Would you want a brain surgeon working on you that hadn't learned brain surgery? I don't think I need to hang around for the answer kind of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? So we need to use common sense for that. But there is also that kind of thing of when people just do it in such a textbook way that they don't humanize it. Like I think we've all been to a doctor where you know they've got the textbook 7 minutes and they're not even really listening to you. Now I'm going to actually go the other way, which you might surprise to notice that I don't really like going to the doctor that much, but actually the last few times I have needed to go to the doctor in person, I've actually had a very helpful doctor that actually, you know, saw what my like how good my investigative skills were, and we worked together to get the answers. But at the same time, to a limit, you know, there's still things that's like, you know, it's yeah, you know, you're never going to get that's a, I get what they're saying. You're never going to find it all in one person, whether it's somebody helping you or a lover or a friend or a family member. You have like, so, but what I'm saying, as doctors go, I feel lucky that when I've had to go and get support for things of my own stuff, that needed a doctor, that it was that doctor that listened. You know that again, I'm keeping it honest, but that doctor did listen to me, and I appreciated that, and I got what I needed. That's not always the case. Doctors don't have a lot of time to do that. So let's keep it real. That might not. So, but yeah, the answer that you're seeking involves going to school. So I feel there's something about some of you could have needed healing around bad experiences at school, maybe being bullied or something, or a bad experience at a university or college, something like that. Or it could be a good experience too. But it might just be you're being guided to learn new things for the employment change. You know what I mean? I can see it fits. Right. And we'll get one more for the masculine. Trust. And it involves trust in your intuition, like the trust and intuition. Well, intuition card that came up earlier. My nose is really itching, so I feel a loved one in spirit is really close around someone watching, well, around you all, but I'm picking up on someone's loved one in spirit is really close around you, guiding you to a certain path. Trust your feelings and dreams to guide your career path. Yes, yeah, so again, I feel that that person's helping you speak your voice to who you need to around you, but also I think they're helping you get in touch with the truth. And they could be trying to reach out to you through dreams. So that's how you'd know it was you. I had a friend like that. They had everything, and she was terribly overweight. Right. So the thing is yeah, and that's what I mean about that. It's like I love helping people with stuff like that because that it's going to be linked to something, you know, and it's like it's more than likely going to be that something was really restricted or not readily available. Therefore, when you're an adult, it's like, well, when I was younger, I couldn't get that, or I wasn't allowed this. And it's not always directly related to the food, by the way. Something that can be. It could be I didn't get the love that I craved and needed. Therefore, I'm going to seek. So that's why we call it comfort food. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. We've all got a comfort food. It's just, you know, but that, say your friend, for example, if that was somebody on my radar, like they would need to recognize that about themselves and be vulnerable enough to recognize it, to seek the help and get something. You know what I mean? It is a lot of work for some people to do, but there are people that do it because I've helped people with this. So, yeah. So, everyone leave your DNA on the like button. Show Claire the support she needs. She said that as I typed it. Thanks. Deserves, not needs. Thank you. We know what you mean. Right. So what else have we got for now? We're going into career and money. What have we got? But yeah, it's never ever when people have got an addiction, whether it's food, sex, drugs, rock and roll, whatever else, porn, it's always linked to some other pain, trauma. And if you're brave enough to ask for help from me, I will help you make the link. Because that's what I loved about what my client wrote, my soul sister. That's what I could, when I was listening to what she was saying with her eyes open, and then when I listened, when I got her to close her eyes, I could instantly see the connection. I actually saw the connection from when we first started talking, but it's just I like to give it time, and then it always adds up to being what I felt. Right, that's what I mean. That person wasn't lying when they said the first 5 minutes. I know what the person needs. I'm just polite. I let you fucking talk it out. And also, it's not about being polite. It's the person's ego. Doesn't matter how well somebody knows me. Everybody protects themselves too much, and then as the time goes on, they'll let their guard down, and that's when I'm able to help you. It's vulnerable. There's no way of getting around it. You have to be vulnerable. That's why you have to trust people that you're doing that deep healing work with. So, like I said, that's why I know I say it like a broken record, but it is very humbling and I'm honoured when people trust me with that work because it is not you don't want it. It's not something you want to do with somebody that you don't trust. So you should lurk and stalk somebody before you let them into your subconscious mind. But newsflash, you're actually doing that every day with lots of stuff in the world. So I untangle the fuckery from people. Right. And I can do that for you personally if I know what your problem is. You know what I mean? But I try to cover general things. But I still do it quite specifically too, to be fair to myself. So, right, for the feminine, power. And then look, see how that fit with what I was saying? With great power that I was just describing that I have comes responsibility. You know what I mean? Look, she's a queen. I could, be a dick about it, but I'm not. I don't hog that. I put out the shamanic journeys, which some people just choose to watch my free shamanic journeys and they never spend any money with me. You know what I mean? Like there's no judgment. That is just an observation. But what I always say about that is if you do that and you recognize you get results and um and you're not letting me know in any type of way, you're not liking the video, you're not commenting, you're not sending me an email, because again it's private. That's what I say. You know what I mean? There's karma with things. So I do that with the good in my heart. to help people that I know don't have the money, or like I said, it's half the time it's not about the money, it's about the pride and ego, just calling a spade a spade. Sometimes it's both. But it means a lot to me when people let me, like, again, I really appreciate people have let me know in the chat tonight that through watching one of my videos or through doing a session, it has helped you remove some kind of block or move through something. That counts. To me, that counts as like good karma. So it's not always about the money, but that I had to do a lot of work on myself before I felt like I was going to be able to give that much without resenting it. Again, to keep it 100, because I could have put those journeys out a lot sooner than what I did, put it that way. But I worked through enough stuff and I thought, no, that feels good to do that. So you have the power to take control of your life, career, and finances. Focus on your needs. But you see how this all fits, whether you're a woman or a man, divine feminine, divine masculine, you've got the power to change your life, career, and finances. Focus on your needs. So again, it brings it right back to the self-care of the very first cards. Are you giving too much? And over the years, that was the problem that I always done in the past, and I can still fall into it. But when I make a mistake in that way, I'm like, right, I tried it that way. That worked for other people, didn't work for me at all, or not as much as I would have hoped. Not going to do it that way. You know what I mean? So think how that fits for you. Rather than being like, oh, I do all this stuff, because it does get annoying. I'm just, again, I remember on the last month on the Virgo one, I did have a good old fucking moan. I did, I'm not gonna lie, but it was fucking true. Like, can people actually like the fucking video, please? I'm being polite about it. And if you can't, can you let me know why not? Why can't you like the video? Like, why? If it helped you, if it didn't help you, fine. You know what I mean? But if it helped you, it helps me to leave a comment, to get involved. You know what I mean? And not just for me, for the other YouTubers that you watch that sit their arse down to help you. Help people. They're helping you. Help them back. Love it. Right. That's for my fellow sister bros out there doing this. Right. So the masculine. Flexibility. Adapt slowly by using versatility. Compromise. There's that word again. Adaptation and change. Be flexible in your methods. So again, there's something, the octopus might be significant as well, but there's something here about that is leaning back to the original block of criticizing your partner. Where are you not flexible? Where are you like, this is just, it needs to be this way. I need this person to be exactly the way I want them to be, or I'm not doing it. That's not fair. That's not realistic. You can't expect that of somebody else. So therefore they can't expect that of you. You've got to compromise. So, and we've got surprise. An unexpected turn can bring positive change. Be ready for change. Now, what I'm seeing here is there's lots of things about change. That mentions change. That mentions change. There could have been a recent birthday, or you could even be going to a birthday party or something. But there's something here about surprises and being ready for that change. So I feel there's surprise and change coming about for a lot of masculine energy. All like I think it's the kind of thing where things are just going to all happen very quickly, but it ends up being for the best and a happy thing overall. So whatever that all means. That friend passed away at the age of 50 of a heart attack, never got healthy. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. So that's really sad. Cooperation instead of competition. Oh, I said that earlier. I said that on this, didn't I? Or yeah, it was on this one. What's yours is yours, and no one can take it from you. There's no need to compete, as there's an abundance for all. You have complete access to unlimited abundance for yourself and to share it with others. Oh my God, look at what I just said about the shamanic journeys. That's what I always say to people. I feel I'm really channeling Buffalo Calf women in this, because like I sometimes I'm in people's lives to pray for you, and it's, yes, you might be asking for more money, but be open to the fact that it might not be money that comes your way. It might be an opportunity that others do need to pay for, but you don't need to. And it's like I've given loads of examples before when I've just randomly helped somebody online, like not through here, like when I bump into them elsewhere or in the past, or or like out and about in the world, like on the beach. Like I've bumped, I can't even tell you how I could write a book alone about the amount of times I've bumped into somebody that didn't want to be involved in this game of LIFE. Oh, that's a more interesting way than using the words that they use. But you know what I'm saying? Or like on loads, I've had loads of drunken nights out when I just randomly talk to somebody. My pals would be walking ahead and I would be kind of, not too far behind, but somebody would start talking to me. And then it was very clear this person's in a dark place. And you know what I mean? And who knows what they've said through me that, made that person feel like they were worth talking to. But maybe they went out and got drunk because they felt like nobody cared about them or nobody, you know what I mean? You've got to be mindful of all of this. Like, you could be used as an instrument as they're all playing their harps and whatever guitars and flutes and shit like that. You could be used as an instrument for good. So be mindful of that. With cooperative partnerships, you can accomplish anything. So I feel this is where the feminine's focused. Your money mindset, your abundance mindset is what's mine is mine and nobody can take it from me. So when we tie that into the twin flame journey, I don't care who or what, I don't care who or how many people or what is trying to block my divine union. Eventually, all of that will fail and love will prevail. That just rhymed, guys. There is no competition. So that's about shifting your mindset. But think about it. For some people, you could choose to be like, but wait a minute, the love of my life is like shacked up with somebody else right now. I don't feel abundant. Like that. Like what's went wrong here? Or you could choose to look at it that way. That might be how it is now. But that's why I always say I wouldn't want to be the person in that situation where I'm somebody's karmic partner and I'm like wondering when the day is when they're going to leave me because that's not where they really want to be. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you can choose to just settle into the energy that you're in. Acceptance, like whichever one you are. The karmic energy is accepting this is the part that I played in this person's life. I now need to let them go and I need to be happy with who genuinely wants to be with me rather than wanting to be with somebody that doesn't want to be with me. And if you're the divine feminine, and this is only for the people that this applies to, you have to accept that, right, don't know why it's like this, pretty sure they want me like I like them, but that person is choosing to stay stuck. I don't want that for them, but I have to accept it. By you accepting that sometimes, and well, not sometimes, on the terms later, when you truly do just let go and accept the way things, that's the way things are, you don't try to control things, that's when shit starts happening. I know it's the irony of life. But yes, cooperation instead of competition. And notice how that's when you recognize karmic energies in your life. Karmic energies, so karmic family are people that don't cheer you on when you're doing good things in the world. They'll just stay quiet. They'll stonewall you. They'll act like it's no big deal. Pay attention to who claps when you win kind of vibes, right? We all know this. When you do well in business, like whether it's like, it's not always doing money, but yeah, when you do well in business, it's very common knowledge that your friendships and your family and even your love, like a lot of it can change around you. And it just basically, you see people's true colors. It's just like how when you start doing really well and getting loads of attention, if you weren't getting as much before, suddenly it's like, oh, hi, how are you doing? You know what I mean? And it's like, it's embarrassing. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you stayed away when I was at my lowest, you're better just fucking staying away while I'm doing really good because people are going to see through that shit. You know what I mean? But people still try, don't they? um, so, and again, I always stress when I say those bits, we don't include the twin flame. And again, it does seem a bit unfair, doesn't it? But your twin flame is your energy. So it's an aspect of you, that that you need to work through, that can be difficult too. But anyway, so this is the masculine's card. Face your financial fears. So it's got two little kids on this. So there could be worries around children or money for children, or because you've got a little boy and a little girl in here. But that could be also about healing your inner child. But I feel this is also linked to the stuff about job changes, that your financial fears could include holding yourself back from what you really want to do because you don't want to lose the security and the safety of, you know, wherever the money's coming from and something that you don't like or something. When you're honest with yourself about fears of success or failure, they can no longer control you. Be free of hidden fears by exposing them to the light of awareness, which is what I've spoke about tonight with what I've done with my client and what I do in every client session. And you'll realize that you, in fact, have nothing to fear, and that every successful person has struggled and released these self doubts. Yeah, because you've heard me. Like I've done it too. And again, I'm in some ways I'm a good example. In other ways, I'm not a good example because I go through different things and I just learn and grow as I move through it. As I was saying to my client tonight, for those with the spiritual eye to see, I am a business coach too. I've actually trained in business coaching too, believe it or not. But it's like it was part of my coaching, but it's kind of like I do it in the new earth way. So I'll listen to what the person wants and what they need, and I'll be able to figure out a way. But you really, the bit that I do is helping you clear all the limiting beliefs about believing it's possible. So I usually do the work, the really nitty gritty work at the start. And then, like what's happening now, I'm getting people that are coming back to me from a few years ago because more stuff's coming up to be looked at. I expose what's in the dark, I bring it to light, and then you're able to do more good in the work in the world. So, partnership. Allow helpful, supportive partnerships in your personal life and career, and both parties benefit as a result. You're receiving help from heaven and from a person who brings needed skills and resources. This is a masculine's card. So again, this is like what I said. That's definitely got to be about some of the twin flames working together to create change in the world. Mary Magdalene and Jesus vibes. And if you don't resonate with Mary Magdalene and Jesus, that's fine. Everybody's resonates with different energies, but it's just the kind of thing of you're going to be doing working together to help others. And it doesn't even need to be healers. Like I said, you could be doing something totally practical, but it's helping the world. Jesus, and I knew it. I knew it was going to be Mary Magdalene and Jesus or Jesus. So yeah, I like I said before, if you're new to me, I don't go all dramatic. I'm dramatic in a different type of way, but I don't go dramatic when I'm channeling the energy of a message from Jesus or from Mary Magdalene. But that was definitely what I could feel. Jesus, Yeshua, in this, the power is within you. Like you, I do feel this is for the masculine group that Jesus energy is very close around you, within you, helping you to follow a path of purpose. Holding the seeds, fertility. And I just spoke about planting the seeds at the very beginning. Like the seeds have been planted for these unions. Deep reflection, 33. Jesus is my 33 number. Love it. Right. So I don't know how much more of this we want to do because I've been sitting here for fucking ages. But that's all right. What animal card have we got for the feminine? Oh, 2 came out. God, fuck's sake, we've not got time for 2. Lynx, Keeper of the Secret. See what I mean? The card about the mystery, and now we've got Keeper of Secrets. Take time out from the world and be the observer. Nothing can deceive you when you trust your knowing. You see others' secrets and keep them sacred. In silence and solitude, you will find your strength, right? That's hilarious because that's literally everything that I've said on this because they just said it through me. That's what I've said tonight, that I do see other secrets, but I keep them sacred. If I'm ever sharing little bits, especially the detail I went into tonight, it's because the person has said it's okay to share it. Or if I share, but I share things anonymously long after I've done it because you don't know who it is. But when it's something like that, I done that today and I'm sharing it today, it's because that person me recognised this is going to help people. But yes, mysterious divine feminines out there. Penguin authentic. Reach out to your tribe in times of need. Family gives you strength when you face the storm, but that can be soul family too. So recognize, do your family, do they? Because some of you will have family that provide that, and some will be good with some parts of your life and not so good with others. If you don't have family, look for soul family that give you that. Love your uniqueness. You are full of surprises. Break free from others' expectations. Just be yourself. I feel that's actually the card for the masculine, but just take it where it resonates. break free from others' expectations and just be yourself. Because when you piece it all together with the criticizing yourself and feeling like others aren't fitting your criteria, it's because you're like feeling that way about yourself that you're looking at others like that too. Whereas when you just love yourself unconditionally and you're like, I'm not a perfect person, but I love who I am, then you chill out about that shit. And that's what most divine feminines actually teach their own masculine to do with themselves. So, like masculine, Ram, and that's we're in Aries. Oh no, we're not. We're in Taurus season now, but I am in Aries. We can do that. And also um we've got Venus going to be in Aries soon as well, and we've got the Mercury in Aries. Oh yeah, shit, the Moon in Aries. Yeah, Neptune in Aries. Chiron, I already said. There's a lot of Aries. You have many gifts. No problem can withstand the power of your mind. And I've spoke a lot about the subconscious because I always am. With patience, and then there's the guy that's on the card. With patience, you can reach your mountaintop. Never give up, and good luck will follow. But remember, there's no such thing as good luck. Good luck is preparation meeting opportunity. And I feel those opportunities are imminent. Union is imminent. Well, maybe it is because I'm saying that, but like a lot of those opportunities for you are here now. But don't be the Four of Cups person ignoring it. Oh, because if you take the risk, your luck can change. The Wheel of Fortune, destined and fated change. It was all meant to happen this way. Justice, but what is happening on this card? How interesting. Wheel of Fortune, your luck's about to change because you put in the hard work. Justice is about to prevail. The most love ever, Ace of Cups. But let's just look at what's happening here. Justice. That looks like there's been a car accident, and these two guys are going nuts at each other. And there's someone in the middle trying to sort it out. So maybe that's an onlooker, or maybe she was like a passenger. So again, there could be more meaning because again, I'm not telling you what it was, but I had the most hilarious email. Like I had a synchronicity where it was one of the cards I held up recently, and the person was just letting me know, like, you've no idea how on point and funny that was, like with the card. So the person knows who that is. So again, I'm praying if there was any kind of car accident that nobody was hurt or that you sorted it all out with insurance and all that jazz. I don't drive, but I generally know. And remember, I did say that where I live, like, quite often I do think I'm situated to help a lot of people where I live because it's great people watching. And I've always lived in a place like that. Not always, because once I lived in a place that, didn't, yeah, you couldn't fucking see out the window. But anyway, I'm glad I don't live somewhere like that now. But again, I've had my tough times too, guys. But it's kind of like, yeah, there was a car accident the other week there, and I said that like I do this all the time, but I actually told you about this, so I'm saying it again. The man and the woman were arguing, and I prayed at the window, and literally in seconds they went from shouting at each other to hugging. Riddle me that. Like I knew it was like that. I was called to the window to help because it was like it was. I was like it was kind of one of these moments. I'm like, you fucking see this. It was like because even when I told my mum, she was like, "That is weird." I'm like, "It's weird, but it's amazing too." It's like whenever I hear couples arguing in the street or a kid crying or something, and sometimes I hear like people shouting at their kid. I mean, that's the word. I can't stand when I hear people shouting at their kids. It upsets me. But again, I know, it's like sometimes the kid has done something bad and all that. But I mean, like OTT, and like I'll just kind of say a wee silent prayer. But yeah, justice is coming. A lot of love, and your luck's changing for the better. What's that? Yeah, apologies are coming from a King of Cups, right? And I think we'll just opportunity beckons. See, it's someone's story. It's all going to make sense to who it's meant to. Opportunity beckons. So again, that is the Four of Cups again. How interesting. I just mentioned the Four of Cups, but it was about the card where the woman isn't taking the opportunity. Now I'm saying woman, you could be a man or you didn't do it in the past, but now this is different wording. It's like a mindset shift, the same card, but it's opportunity beckons. So that's so interesting. Is it a missed opportunity and you have to accept your losses? You had the opportunity, you missed your chance, you made your bed, you can lie in it, is a saying that might apply as well. But sometimes there's another opportunity to change things. What is it for you? Patience. Maybe you just had to learn and grow into who you are now. After recovery and healing, rest and rejuvenate. After betrayal, deception, and envy. And for some people as well, this is because this is emasculate. It's for some people that you had to overcome your own jealousies. But for some, it's people around you, obstacles and challenges that were trying to block you. And now you've saw through them. Six of Swords, you're moving on. Moving on from envious, jealous people. Moving on from your past self that had those qualities too. Where you couldn't see properly. Your third eye was blocked. Well, there's too many specifics for that to not make sense to the people it needed to. Right, okay, so I'm going to end it with these love cards. And then I'm going to go. And oh, yeah, are they making me go at my Twin Flames numbers? Because that happens quite a lot. Because I'm a few minutes away from it. What, from all the randomness that came through, which was never random, it'll make sense to people it needs to. What do we need to know about what comes next? And I will pop up at some point. Like I said, it just depends. I don't like working on the weekends, but because the full moon is Sunday night, I think I will pop on. Like probably, I don't think I would start them till like 8 at the earliest. If I start them early, it's just because I don't know. I was guided to, but I'll do a few. I'll do a few, and then probably wrap it up about this time. So say I'll do like 8 till like 11ish or something, or maybe even midnight. And then I'll finish the rest on the Monday. That's what I'm going to do. Or so, yeah. So thank you if you join me for this interesting one. Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Again, the mindset shift. Are you in the mindset of it's too late, I fucked it, it's a missed opportunity, I chose wrong, I missed the boat, I made my bed, I need to lie in it. You know what I mean? All these sayings that either others could say to you or you say to yourself. Or is it, opportunity beckons. I'm different now. I know better. I can do better. I chose to grow and learn and heal rather than stay stuck or stay in my shadow. Maybe I can choose to see the glass as half full rather than half empty. That can take work. But like I was saying, with this deck, on a lot of the cards, it's two people together, but she's just on her own. And also, I don't know what she's doing this. I've always wondered what this card is about, but she's like lifting up flowers. So it's like I always think it's like she's offering the flowers to someone, but we can't see who it is. So I think that's like you don't know exactly what is coming towards you. You might not even know who, but some of you do. But it's like you just know that there's something to stay optimistic about. And it's an important union because we've got marriage and love. Love and marriage. Look, a marriage of souls is a union of two divine counterparts blending together. I have to end it on this note because I've actually said this throughout this live stream. Look, I've been saying love conquers all in different words. I think I said love prevails at one point, justice prevails. A marriage of soul, and look at what I asked. I said what is coming next, and now it's my Twin Flames numbers, which matters because that's again divine masculine stepping into their power. A marriage of souls is a union of two divine counterparts blending together. Love conquers all. Guys, I'm ending it there at 11:21 because I'm tired, I'm hungry, and quite frankly, I want to watch Big Brother because I think it's the final. So again, that's going to have meaning too. Either stuff to do with family again or Big Brother's always watching. God, act with integrity because Virgo is about integrity. Love it. Wait a minute, that's the thumbnail. I think I put people to sleep on this too. Off to watch the final two. Oh, have you been watching it, Charlotte? Someone was watching it. We could talk all about it when I'm live next. Wait a minute. I just need to see if the thumbnail. It's not in the shot. Why am I getting the thumbnail right at the end? My fucking makeup's melting. Wait a minute, we need the good side. Although it's not even a good side now, but yes, I have been. It has been good, hasn't it? But Charlotte, right? What in the fuck is going on? They've fallen in love, haven't they? Like, what in the fuck is her name? I forgot her name. What the hell's her name? But Chris and the blonde one that's meant to be gay. They've fallen in love. There's a good example of two souls just falling in love. You know what I mean? It looks like it's been highly awkward for them because she's got a bird at home. But I'm telling you, I'm sorry, they've fallen in love. That ain't a friendship. They're going to be they're doing a power of shagging after that. I'm sorry, I'm just calling it. I don't need to be a fucking psychic to work that one out. Like they've more or less said it to each other as well. Like there was one night she said, I don't know, she said something about 48 hours and I'm it's like secret code for their good enemy. Maybe it's all right. I don't know. Maybe that's all right within their. Maybe they've got an open relationship, but there's something. I'm just saying, they've fallen in love, so it's quite cute. But that's not just a friendship. No way. Jojo, that's it. Yeah. And also, can I just say this is going a bit dark? You're very welcome. There is a lot of information in that. It was very quite interesting. I'm going to go a little bit dark for 1 minute, and I'm just going to show you the still of it. I can do that, can't I? Can I do that? Can I, before I do it, can I show you? Yeah, I can. I do it all the time. What am I saying? If you're not allowed to do it, I do it all the time. But like, nah, I don't think I can because I'm not going to be able to find it. But all I'm going to say, right, I'll find it for another time, is oh yeah, was it last night? The 48 hours comment. Be interesting to see your interview. Yeah, that's what I mean. I think she was basically saying, because that, right, put it this way, right? I'm sure if you watch Big Brother, you'll get what I'm saying. But he was in a funny mood, and then he said, "Oh, I'm in a bit, I'm just in a funny mood." And then she was like, "Is it something you want to talk about or not?" And like, I just know that that was definitely because it's like he's fallen in love with her, and he's thinking, "Shit, not only is she not straight, she's got a girlfriend, and she lives in America." And she's a lot younger, right? There's quite a few things in the way there. Um, but at the same time, she's thinking, shit, I'm meant to be gay, or I think maybe she's bisexual, whatever words the kid's using, whatever the hell she decides she is. And I've got a girlfriend who I'm meant to be in love with, who I'm in love with. But very confusingly, I have fallen in love with this Englishman. Like that's like, I'm sorry, that is the situation. I don't care what anybody says. That's the situation. I've not even Googled like the I should Google it to see, but surely that's what other people are saying too. Like it must be because that's what's happening. Um and But yeah, it's quite interesting because that's what I could tell when he went funny and then she hugged him. It's like they're trying to make out like, oh, it's friends and stuff. And it's like, no, something's more like, it might be very inconvenient, but they've fallen in love. And it's like life, isn't it? It doesn't mean it's right, but people fall in love in all different like ways in the world, don't they? When they're not meant to. When they're not meant to. And sometimes they're not, but that's just looking at objectively, that's what's happened. You fuck around and you find out. You go in a house for that long and you get to know people like, well, that's what's happened. It's kind of like when I've said when I used to when I used to work in the supermarkets handing out the samples. I was like somebody said I was like the Pied Piper. I had a few people that had fallen in love with me. Some of the older men, some of the guys the same age, some of the younger ones. It was the younger ones that always had a problem with because they would. It was. I was thinking about that the other day. It was quite funny. But again, it was quite. I'm going to be honest. It was welcome because they weren't that much younger than me. I was about 24, and some of them were like kicking about at like 18, 19. So when I think about it, it wasn't even that much younger than me, but it felt loads younger than me. And it was quite a confidence boost because I was really shy and quiet. And like they kept coming over, like just, just guys that age when they're good, like just loads of confidence. And it was, I kind of liked it. Whether that's a why or whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it was like, that was the Venus and Aries. But that lines were not crossed. But it is just getting across the point when you're in the close vicinity of someone all the time, you get to know them and you get to, what I mean, and it helps if people look at, these things happen. I don't know what I'm channeling, but it's going to be somebody something. Oh yeah, but what I was going to say is a bit different. What I noticed is now I'm going to just say this right because I know somebody that watch it. If I didn't know the stuff that I know about the world and different sorts of, I'm going to talk in code a little bit. She's come across really genuine and lovely and just quite a really all round nice person. But I have noticed, like I said, that's what I like about watching it. I've noticed the different traumas that each of them are holding. Like particularly like that Ella that's on Towie, that was really upsetting because I've watched her over the years on Towie, and sometimes she's very pretty, but sometimes I've seen when she's like come across as a bit of a liar, and then I've seen her kind of grow and become more likable and stuff. But that was really quite upsetting to watch because it was obvious where she's got really deep seated trauma and like needs to work on that. And that was what was quite nice actually for her to actually, with I can't remember what it was now, but you know what I mean? It was like like she was doing a lot of projection, you know what I mean? And she's only 24. And that's not a coincidence. Maybe somebody's watching this that is 24. Like she's still got a lot to learn and a lot to grow. And also she just came out of a relationship with somebody that was 10 years older than her. Like that was, you know what I mean? It's not that it was never gonna last, but that was, they might get back together. Um but um yeah. So hopefully she gets what she needs. But that was kind of sad to watch her like that. But what was I going to say? Yeah, that JoJo, she done something in one of the tasks, and she done basically one of the the symbols, the secret society symbols. It was very clear, and I not only I paused it and I took a photo because I was like, you know what I mean? It was if you weren't really paying attention, you would miss it. But she done the it was something with her eye. She, and like she's in that. Sorry, guys, she's in that gang. Like that's why she was. Because if you think about she was again, I'm taking you a little bit down. I'm taking you into the. This is where sometimes it might kind of people will be like, "What's she talking about?" If you've not went down the rabbit hole. But she was like name dropping like Elton. Not good, guys. Not good. If you know, you know. Not great. And she name dropped a few other people, famous people, that it's like, if she's close, I think had she not said that she was friends with the witches too, the Kardashians. You know what I'm saying? There's a crowd of people if you're fast asleep that you think that's cool, and there's a people that are wide awake that's like, and I would say she's a bit of a dangerous one because she's very likable and she's come across very genuine. And let's face it, she might actually fucking win. That girl could win, and it's just all yeah. So let's pray for Chris. I don't think you should maybe go there, son. So I don't know. But maybe he's again, isn't it George Carlin or something? There's a big gang and we're not there's a big gang and we're not part of it. You know what I mean? But who knows? At some point, some people fucking maybe I don't know. But all I know is she definitely done a symbol. It was a very clear signal. I don't miss that shit. I see it everywhere, whether I want to or not. So, um, but putting that aside, what I saw, she is, if I didn't know what I know, she's come across very nice. But yeah, But remember, she's been manipulated from a very tiny child to be in the public eye. So remember that too. Um, yes, Talk of the Tick has also had these thoughts. Yes, I would have thought so. It's obvious. Again, it's been quite nice to watch. Like putting aside all the other shit that I just said, it's just interesting because it's like they're saying it, but they're not really saying it, and it's like, you know what I mean? Because it's even like, right, another thing I will say to see what I mean, you got me talking about this is Charlotte's fault because she said, well, it's my fault. Again, we're not about blame and shame. I said I was going to watch Big Brother, and you've got me talking about because you said I was like, oh my God, if I knew somebody else was watching it, I would have been talking about this whole time. But I forgot you said you like it. Yeah, clearly the Olivia Atwood just said stuff to Ella about him, and I love her. Like I talk about her quite a lot. Like I love her documentaries, but she she's a much nicer person now, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like there was times when she was on Towie when she was just so like nasty. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it was more of her not so nice side that was coming out. And then I think she got a little backlash for that. I mean, because she was only on that like 2 minutes, but that's clearly how she's gotten pally with that Ayla. And uh, I don't know. I would more be leaning towards like because it was trying to be made out that he was like a bad guy to her, and maybe he was. I really don't know, but I could see her being a bit of a nightmare girlfriend, if I'm honest. You know what I mean? Because it's like because I feel but again, I must stress I love her. I really like her. I love her documentary. I just think she's fucking hilarious. Because she's just real. She's got ADHD too. And it's like she just whether you love her or hate her, she's just herself. And I like her. But what I'm saying is I don't think she would have been an angel in a relationship back when they met. Because remember the reason why she went on Love Island was to get at that's actually look that they're making me talk about this because it's like what I've been picking up on all this week. She went on Love Island to get back at her ex for being a player. Like, not the best solution. But again, she even said that because when she filmed that Bad Boyfriends, again, this is going to come in too, she uses that at the start of the series to say, it wasn't the best tactic, but it worked. And it's kind of like, it's not the best, it's not the best to put across like that. But it's kind of like, it's, you know, I don't know, just observing that Chris guy, and he's so very feminine and gentle and very in touch with his feelings. So it's like if when they were together, it would have been well, it's more for show, wasn't it? Because she was still in love with her ex. That's the point. She was yeah, that's the point. She was using him to get to somebody else. So maybe they've just made me blather on about all of that because that I hope that's not happening to any of you, or maybe it happened in the past, where somebody has used you as a pawn in a game to get to the person that they really want. Because that's what I'm saying. Although I really like her and she's entertaining, and I think she's a really lovely, nice person. She's a great, like, she's got a podcast and all that. I don't actually watch them, but sometimes I see the clips and she's good. But that, let's face it, like she's got a shadow because she done that. So, but and you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, the kind of they don't really seem to mesh very well. Their energies. Like I could see that he would be too sensitive, to her harshness. Like she's very harsh. Um, but I like them both separately because I think he's like again. It would be nice if he won. I think he's actually all round been a really lovely guy, and it's been a nice example of somebody being in their feminine, a man being in their feminine energy. Even the wee friendship that he's developed with like David Platt, that was funny. That story he told me that it was like the Ken thingy guy still calls him David. Well, that was funny. The way he told the story. But yeah, I like watching the bromances and all that. It's nice, but it's been quite a tame one, eh? There's not really been very. They got the older actor out. They're like, right, he's causing a load of drama. Get him out. You know what I mean? They've all been like palsy walsy. But yeah, anyway. So sorry if you're not in the UK and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? But yeah, I love a bit of reality TV. Although we all know it's not all reality. Wait a minute, let's actually shuffle these because I did mean to. Maybe we'll add into it. What do we need to know before I go? Love conquers all, and the blending of souls coming together. You're not going to believe what it is. You're not going to believe. I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to go. I've seen Chris near where I live. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Yeah, because I remember. I think I remember when the family came on in Love Island. And that it seemed like it was. Was he not like from like a farm background or something? Or it just seemed like. I mean, you can never really know, but it seemed like quite a nice sort of family. But uh, that was funny. Jack is proper not about. Oh God, yeah, that was funny. That was funny, wasn't it? Yeah, he sees me in the halls and he's like, "All right, Dave," or "Hey, David." It took me a minute to be like, "But that is his name," and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's not his name. That's his character." Because even I just done it. I called him David Platt, and his name is Jack. But it's like how Bianca from EastEnders, Patsy Palmer, fucking she's called Julie. Oh, you're no hen. You're no called Julie, right? You're Bianca or you're Patsy. You're no called Julie. I can't get on board with that. Do you know what I mean? You've been lying to us for all these years. Since a child, I've known you as all these names could be significant. Yeah, I think, but because I'm near North London, where the studios are, loads of TV stars live. Like, ah, right, oh, interesting. I know it's like I sometimes have that panic. I'm like, I'm not being funny, but like I know this is a tiny channel, but some people that are in the public eye are twin flames. So like it's not actually entirely possible that like somebody on one of these shows or somebody that knows them could be watching. I mean, in fact, I actually know for a fact that there's people that are either subscribed or that know of my channel that actually know some of these people. So and then I could go even further. I actually know that there's then somebody else I can think of that knows people that are like of the American variety that have worked. So it's, you know what I mean? It's not too far removed, but I just have to forget all of that and push it aside because that's what I'm here to do. But yeah, and talking of what I just said, the card that came out is awareness, crystal clear vision. That's right, people. Crystal clear vision. So I am Crystal Clear Visions signing off. Maybe that needs to be the thumbnail. I keep wanting to end it dramatically and then I keep talking. It's like, see what I mean? You can't be perfect. It would be good if I done that, but it's no me. Sometimes I do it. I've done it dramatically before. My makeup's melting. Oh fuck! It's not in the shot. I need to perfect this. See what I mean? I'm channeling the energy of Virgo again. I need to like find a way where it's in the shot. A minute. You can't even see what it says. Yeah, it really is by this time, Renee. I think. Oh, because look, if I could just keep talking for another 4 minutes and I'm leaving at 11:44, but I can't be arsed. A minute. Nah, fuck that. It's not, it doesn't show up very well. Right, guys, I'm going. So have yourself a lovely, well, Friday's over now. Have yourself a lovely Saturday night, and then you never know, I might pop up on Sunday night, UK time, to pick up where we left off with some of the other ones. If I'm not fancying it tomorrow night, no, wait a minute, I'm definitely not doing it tomorrow night. If I'm not fancying it on Sunday night, then I'll put a wee post up to say I'll just do it Monday or Tuesday. So just, or just, take your chances. I was thinking that earlier. You need stickers on your laptop or whatever you're filming so you know where to hold it. I know. I don't know what is the answer with that, Charlotte. But together, we can all work out how to do it. It's about community and collaboration and working together. Right? Okay, now it's time to drop the mic. Although I did leave it on a drop the mic moment, but we'll just go back to the original drop the mic. Love and marriage. Love conquers all. A marriage of souls is a union of two divine counterparts blending together. Now I could hang around for 3 minutes so that it reaches 144. I'm not going to do that because it actually isn't 11:44 in other parts of the world. So, anyway, I'm over now. So, see you later. Sleep well, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye. Oh, wait a minute.